Hello everyone, this is the Warframe official channel and it is a Monday, which means that I, Tom, obviously, I am going to answer your questions about the game, about any questions that you have about any vehicles that you want to play, or how to play certain stuff. And I will do it absolutely terribly, because my objective this time is to not give you good advice, but rather to just give you the most terrible advice possible. I guess you can kind of think that this is kind of a ASMR stream as well. I did not clickbait the title, by the way. I do have some beer, although this is alcohol-free beer, and it looks rather transparent on the stream. And yes, I need to see if I can keep a straight face during the stream. The real Tom may or may not be on vacation right now, so I am taking over for this Monday only. Tom will be back, of course, on Thursday to stream with me on War Thunder. Noom, I do have some actual beer in the fridge, though it is a bit warm right now. And, you know, the German roots in me, they can't really condone warm beer, can we? How do I shoot people without getting spotted first? Pineapple Curds, that is actually a very good question. So what you want to do is you want to hide behind your teammate at all times. Find a nearby mouse and just constantly ram him. Yes, that way the enemy will see them first and they won't spot you. Of course, the problem is you can't really get your gun on target either. So what you can do instead, if you have a fast vehicle, a quick vehicle, something with scouting, for example, is you can go all the way around to the outskirts of the map and just sit there. You don't play the objective at all. You just sit there and you wait for people to go in front of your gun. If they don't, well, you don't get any score, but at least you don't die either. So this is the trick on how you get infinite KD. Yes, I hope that helped. Ooh, Minecraft jokes. Yes, let's see if we have some Minecraft jokes. Of course, the problem is I don't have my my colleague here to note down the responses. This, by the way, is an actual Minecraft joke book, which Tom brought to the streams, and it has been a massive mistake so far. So let's see. Oh, okay. I think we are up to page 4. We are up to page 4. Incredible. There are 170 pages. This is going to take a long while, isn't it? Okay. So, page 4, joke 1. Why are there no posters of Endermen in Minecraft? Because no one can look at them. I'm just going to note down collective depression. In my terrible, terrible handwriting, by the way. Oh yeah, I need to show you actually the handwriting of Tom compared to mine, because mine is just terrible. I can't even write properly. I have no idea if I even wrote this correctly. You know when you spend like the last 3 years of your life just at a computer and you don't write anything on paper at all? Yeah, I kind of forgot how to write properly, which is not great, really. So I want to show you real quick. So these are the kind of jokes you can expect. I hope you can see them. Look at Tom's handwriting. Tom's handwriting is nice. It's like Comic Sans, but wholesome. Here. All the notes from all the stuff. Every time he makes a joke, he records my reactions. And then you have my handwriting, which I guess the lettering really describes my feelings right now, as well as the feelings of the book, I suppose. Communist Puppy on Twitch asks, how do I be a bad teammate? Okay, so to be a bad teammate, you absolutely have to play the objective, right? Because you don't want your team to score any points whatsoever, right? You don't want them to have any RP or anything, really. You want to keep it all for yourself. That's how you be a bad teammate, right? So you have to cap all the caps, make sure your team has that you, not your team, that you have the cap advantage, of course. You need to kill enemies who are about to kill your teammates, because think about it this way. If the enemy kills your teammate, they might respawn in a plane and actually get kills. But if you kill the enemy before the enemy kills your teammates is going to be stuck there for half a minute to a minute, repairing where he doesn't get to do anything, right? And that way he doesn't get any RP, but you do for getting the kill. So yeah, capture points and kill as many enemies as you can see. That is how you be a really bad teammate. Yes. Pin hour, tell us your secret of hair growth. You go to Amazon.com if you have that service available in your region and you buy a wig. Just make sure it's not quite the same as a certain American ex-president. You might have to go with orange peel on your face to pull off the look as well. Identity theft is not a joke, Boom. Who's saying anything about identity theft? Don't I look like Tom? I did try to shave off my beard, by the way, but you might notice some blemishes, which is why I didn't show it off completely. Shave it off completely. I tried. I was going to go full shaven face, which I haven't done in about 5 years now. But sadly, my skin didn't like it. So I'm hiding behind this microphone, which I think kind of plays into the aesthetic a little bit, yes. So what did you do to Oxy, since you clearly have his hair? We may or may not have a basement in our building. Keep in mind, of course, we do live in the 4th floor, inside the roof, essentially, inside the attic. But yeah, we do have a basement with a lock, which is not so empty anymore. Yes. This feels weird. It looks so wrong, but feels so right. Philip, yes, I think it's all about the ASMR experience, isn't it? This kind of Monday stream is a bit to chill out, and normally Tom actually gives some generally good advice. Of course, I am not going to do that today, but I'm trying to emulate that soothing voice. Imagine this as like a Bob Ross recreation, kind of. I mean, I'm halfway there with the hair. Of course, I have none of the skills, but I can pretend. Yes. What is the best bad advice? Ooh, what is the best bad advice? What would be the best bad advice? Can you even do a best bad advice? Isn't that kind of paradoxical? If it's the best, can it be bad? If it's bad, can it be the best? I'm guessing it would be the worst advice, but anything can be a worst advice. How do you quantify the scale of wrongness of any advice that you give? Of course, the objective of good advice would be to have something that would actually help the people you're trying to advise. Bad advice would not help them, but the question is, if you are intentionally trying to not help them, would the bad advice be good because you fulfilled your prerogative? Or would it just be bad? I am just going to drink some beer, which is sadly non-alcoholic, but cheers. The best bad advice would be the worst. Oh god, this tastes terrible. Okay, hold on, breaking character for a second. Who in their right mind wants to drink alcohol-free beer? Seriously. This tastes terrible. Okay, back in character. We're fine. I think the best advice is no advice. I suppose, but wouldn't that just be a lack of advice? Silence. By the way, I just want to mention to YouTube chat, I do know about the situation about 2 and 100, but sadly I can't comment on it just yet. We're trying to figure out some more strategies, I suppose. We're trying to find out some more info. Is this a tank game channel or philosophy channel? Tamara, I mean, isn't any tank game technically a philosophical question? To be or not to be, to kill or not to kill. I mean, you are in a tank, you're in a very armored vehicle, correct? So you don't have to kill enemies. What's going to happen to you in Warframe if you don't kill enemies? Nothing. As long as you don't die. So why bother? Become a pacifist tanker. Get your M1A2 Abrams and plaster peace signs all over it. Do we actually have a peace sign decal in War Thunder? I can't recall. I hope we do. I really hope we do. The Norwegian fish. How does it feel to have hair? I have to be completely honest with you. It feels rather uncomfortable right now. The only thing keeping me sane right now is the AC that is pretty much blowing the cold air directly onto my forehead. But other than that, it feels very, how do I put it, warm. Have you ever had that feeling where after having long hair for a while and you cut your hair short, all of a sudden you feel all the air rushing around your ears on your skin, and it's nice and refreshing? It's kind of the opposite of that right now. I'm feeling like I put my head in an oven. And I can kind of understand why Oxy doesn't enjoy the summers in Germany. I mean, I'm usually bald, and I can already barely stand the heat. Tom does not have that luxury. He constantly has an oven on his head, as well as long sleeves, generally speaking. And he comes from England, where it doesn't tend to be that hot, so... Hey Tom, how many hours played do you have? I'm going to actually check real quick. I believe I have 69,000 hours and... No, 69,420 hours. Yes. You can, of course, use this number if you want to win yourself a whole 0 GE. Of course, I will not actually be trying to do that competition right now. For those of you who are unaware, when Tom himself is streaming, if you guys happen to guess the number of hours that he has played to the exact hour, you can win 50,000 golden eagles. No one has guessed it yet. I can give you a hint. It's absurdly much. It's quite a lot. Like, think in terms of actual years of game time. So I just gave you pretty much a minimum value, I suppose. There it is! He did the funny. I can't really do a Tom voice, to be honest. I'm terrible at accents. I have my own accents, really, and that's it. I can't really do anything else. I tried to do a Russian accent, so it didn't really go so well. I would not pass off well as a spy, I have to say. I do a buzz cut myself every summer, so I'm pretty cool right now. Not sweating and easy showering. I know, right, Panther? And the amount of hair product you also save. I bought one of those, like, very big Head and Shoulders thingies. I think it's like a full liter almost. And it's going to last pretty much the entire year. That's a good thing about having very short hair. Now you might ask yourself, why am I still bothering with shampoo if I don't have hair? Well, I do still kind of have a bit of hair. And my hair is also a bit sensitive, I suppose. So, I do need some shampoo. K6B1, is this a wig? No, of course, this is not a wig. This is completely 100% natural hair. I just grew this overnight. Yesterday I was still bald. In fact, just about 10 minutes ago I was still bald. I just decided to quickly grow this out so I could fit in the role of Tom more easily. Yes. I've never heard a German doing an Indian accent. Probably for good reason, actually. That is probably for good reason. I cannot imagine what that would sound like. King of MK108 on YouTube. Mike, can you say, "Hey, comrades," in a Russian accent? Привет. Привет, comrade. Привет is pretty much the only thing I know how to say. I guess the benefit of working at a Russian company is that I know how to say hello, привет. Thank you, спасибо. And that's pretty much it. I haven't learned how to say goodbye yet. So Alpecin actually works. Yes. Buy all the stocks. Does Alpecin even have stocks? If it doesn't, we need to buy Alpecin stocks. This is not financial advice, by the way. To the moon with the hair growth. Still wondering how to play the Panzerhaubitze 2000 in War Thunder. Well, there is always the possibility of mods, actually. We have a few vehicles in the game that have been added by players, actually. So user-made models that have made it to the game because the quality was high enough. Stuff like, for example, I believe, I can't recall if it was the HE219 or the TAR-154. I believe it was the TAR-154. That vehicle was actually added by a player. The vehicle model was made by a user of the community, and they got introduced into the game as part of the revenue share program. So the maker of the model got some money. I can't quite recall what the exact values are, but they are thousands of dollars. and the vehicle was put in the game. Both were actually user models. Interesting. So yeah, if you happen to be a good modeler, you can try your luck, make some interesting stuff. Wait, no, I'm supposed to give bad advice, aren't I? Panzerhaubitze 2000. It's just a Sturmpanzer. Just play the Sturmpanzer. It's the same thing, right? It's perfect. Hey Tom, what about the F-14 Tomcat? F-14 Tomcat definitely confirmed. It will come out tomorrow. Yes. You can post this all over Reddit, of course, because I love Reddit. Absolutely. And yes. Actually, no, the F-14. Where do we have the F-14? We have the MiG-14. That'll also do. Bro, if Mike grew his hair that long in 10 minutes, how much hair will he have by the end of the stream? Well, I can tell you the good news and the bad news. The good news is the hair growth has stopped on my head for the time being. The bad news is it might have gone to somewhere else. M1A2 SEP Abrams, when, Mike? No Redux. The M1A2 SEP is, of course, coming at the same time as the T-14. And in fact, the new Russian jet, what was it? The Su-75, I believe it's called, that was just unveiled. Of course, we are going to be also releasing that immediately. Yes. No, we're not. And please don't steal any secret documents for that, please. No, in this stream we are, well, usually Tom is doing the streams and he gives you some genuinely good advice about the game. I'm going to do the exact opposite. So if you have any questions about any vehicles or how to play stuff, I can give you the wrong answer for that. How much insider info about releases do you guys actually have? Not as much as you may think. At the moment, I know about a few vehicles that are coming out. I knew about the Battle Pass vehicles, for example, a few days in advance. But in my case, that is pretty much it. I'm not involved in the translation side, so I don't get pretty much a early warning. I do know of one specific vehicle that is coming out in the next patch, which is going to be quite interesting. More for us than for you guys, I suppose. We're going to have a special themed stream when that vehicle comes out, just because it's a bit special to us, I suppose. It has a certain relation to us here specifically. So tune in when the patch releases. Of course, I hope you do, because you can see all the new stuff. And you might see something funny, I suppose. Well, Wolf, yes, but I can't tell you is the problem. Of course, the problem with knowing things ahead of time is that I can't tell you that things are ahead of time, or I can't tell you what is coming. I have to stay silent on the matter forever. Conte, yeah, there usually is a timetable. In fact, we have a little page where it gives you all the planned dates of the post. Of course, the dates can always be moved around at the last second. But generally speaking, yeah, we do get to know when stuff is planned ahead of time. For example, the upcoming major update already has a planned date, which is not set in stone yet. It might always change. And of course, I'm not going to tell you. But we do have a few weeks in advance of planning, at least. Well, I mean, I just said that, yes, I suppose, Wolf. I know of one vehicle that is coming next patch, and I guess that is the only vehicle that I know is coming next patch, guaranteedly. And I know that I am quite interested in that and looking forward to that stream. Yes, it's going to be quite interesting. Well, Rust, I can't actually pronounce that. Keep in mind, I am Tom. Yes, so I can't pronounce that. Why do you look so different with hair? I mean, hair is an integral part of the identity of a person, I suppose. You would be very surprised if you saw how I looked a few years ago. In fact, hold on, let me see if I can find a picture real quick. I just want to show you what I used to look like back in the olden days, when I still had hair. Question is, how can I open up my own WhatsApp right now is the question. Oh, there. Nope. How do I open up my own pictures on WhatsApp? I feel like such a boomer right now. I don't know what technology is like anymore. Ah. Aha. Okay. So this is going to be a bit of a PSA for you guys. This picture is about 2 years old now. I've been working for Gaijin for a little over a year now. Yeah. Don't do Gaijin, kids. It takes your hair away. It's not really trying to focus right now. Focus. Webcam. Focus. Focus. Oh well. That'll work. Yes, contrary to popular belief, I did actually used to have quite a bit of hair. Oxys played 8,225 hours. I sadly wouldn't know. I can't do that for you right now. How to combat the 2A6? The 2A6, right, Leopard 2A6. I, of course, play a lot of top tier tanks all the time, definitely. What you want to do is you want to take a rank 1 derp gun, like the Sturmpanzer, like the Horo, all those big howitzer cannons, especially now with the upgrades to the HE damage. And yes, you can kill leopards that way. Of course, the issue is that you have to spot them before they spot you, and their shell travels about 5 times or more faster than yours. But that is not really an issue, of course. You are definitely going to be capable of killing a leopard 2s at 2 kilometers away with your Sturmpanzer. Hey Tom, what tea are you drinking today? I am drinking this interesting tea from the Friesland up in the north of Germany. Jever Fun. It's a pilsner. It has no alcohol, or so it says. Surprisingly little calories as well, which is good, I suppose. And I'm not sure why anyone would drink this, to be honest, because the whole point of beer is alcohol. If you have alcohol-free beer, you just have a bad taste, and it doesn't taste very nice, I have to say. Yeah. I mean, I will have to, of course, finish the beer in the spirit of the stream, but I'm not enjoying my time right now. Guys, I already answered about that question. I already mentioned the 2900 issue beforehand. You can stop spamming that. I can't give you any comments on that right now, is a problem. Tom, how old are you? How old am I? I don't know. I really don't know. Generally, Tom doesn't really know how old he is. I guess I could try and cut like a finger off and count the age rings like you do on a tree. I think that would work. But it might get a bit bloody. Maybe not on stream. I don't know. I'm somewhere in between 18 and 30, I suppose. Yes. It's the sweetness which isn't an alcohol-free beer. That's what's missing, mate. True, Pinauer. And generally speaking, I'm not a fan of Pilsner. I actually much prefer Weizen. I was actually going to get a alcohol-free Weizen beer, but you can't really drink Weizen out of a bottle properly. It just foams a bit too much. Wolf, yes, somewhere in between 1 and 99. Unless Tom is a vampire, which might very well be the case, in which case he might be thousands of years old. He's actually, he's a 3,000-year-old anime waifu. Can't you check your passport? Well, I can't. He may be able to, although I'm not sure if it tells the birth date on there. The best lag free you have, I believe. I sadly don't have the lag free 4. The free 4 is the developer only vehicle. I could probably get it, but I just haven't really bothered with it yet. What I do have is, I believe it's the lag free 34, which has a Strike Witcher skins. So it's full of a anime waifu in panties. And I don't think they do that whole 3,000-year-old dragon vampire thing at all, either. Those are actual skins, by the way. You can Google them. Yes, other people can see them as well. Wait, dev vehicles? How many are there? As far as I'm aware, it's only the one. As far as I'm aware, it's only the like 3-4. I don't think there's any other one that is exclusive to devs. I know there are a few that have been technically removed. They're still in the game files and they're still playable, but we, for example, aren't even allowed to give them out to rentals to content creators because they are problematic, I suppose. Some of them, for example, can have missing skins. There are also a few that are console exclusive. You might know the XM1 Chrysler version. So there are actually 2 XM1s in the game. One of them is exclusive to the Xbox, the Chrysler version. And we have a F4U. I think it's an F4U4, a Corsair, which is exclusive to the PlayStation Store. There's a ship or 2 that are also exclusive to consoles. And an A26. One of the A26 premium versions is exclusive to the PlayStation, as far as I'm aware. Which I kind of miss. I used to have a press account which had those A26s, and I can't get them now anymore. You can still get the like free 34 on PS4. Yeah, the 34 you can. The 34 you can. I believe that might even be a tech tree version, or maybe it's a premium. I can't quite recall. It's the free 4 that you can't get. The free-4. That is a very early version, which is pretty much a developer-only vehicle. So if you see one of those flying around, there's a very, very good chance that they are working for Gaijin. Remove my sadness. C4 Speedy, I actually had the solution for you. Don't take this as actual advice, because this is bad, but you take one of these, but with actual alcohol. In fact, you can even put yourself in front of the green screen. This is perfect. There you go. I am now tank. This is even better hiding myself than the microphone is. This is beautiful. How close are we to the SC25 or A10A? We are, of course, going to be releasing Battlefield 2043, which is going to include the SC25 and the A10A, as well as the T14, the SU75, the SU47, the SR71, as well as the A12, the F22, the F14, of course. We can't have a modern game without F14. Of course, we're going to put the F14 together in Matchmaker with the SU75, because it's only fair, really. And we're also going to be introducing a new challenger there. The Challenger 3, of course, which has just been announced a few months ago. And the M1A2 SCP, Romanian tech tree, Brazilian tech tree, everything. Everything that you guys have been asking for. No. I heard that there was a Strike Witches event long time ago on Japanese War Thunder servers. Much there, yes. With the DMM server. So the DMM is essentially Japanese Steam, so to speak. It's a big site that hosts all sorts of games for the Japanese market. And it also handles stores of individual games, all the good stuff. And we do have a sponsorship with DMM. We do have a partnership with DMM. So Japanese players, whilst they do still play on the same servers as the rest of the world does, except for China, of course, they have their own clients. But apart from China, everyone plays together in one server, including the Japanese. But they do get some special rewards every now and then. Special events that we don't get. For example, the latest one I recall was for the F4EJ. You could get some special decals for it, as well as a special camo, which I do actually have because my account is linked to DMM. There's a special free decoration, a katana. And there's like, I believe, 12 total Strike Witcher skins, which have been released a long time ago. And they are slightly disturbing. I'm not going to show them on this stream, of course. But I have shown one of them on a previous stream. In fact, if you're currently on Twitch, you can probably find it in the clips. And I had to censor them because they're not exactly safe for these streams. Best way to utilize the M4A3 as a brawler. Rabbit, I'm actually going to break character a little bit and actually give you some good advice because I absolutely love the M4A3 105. First thing you want to do is get heat. The HE is decent against unarmored targets, but you definitely want to get a heat. I believe it gets 2 types of heat shell, so you want to go with the one that has the most penetration. and play it as if it was a heavy tank. The M4A3 is at a very low battle rating for the capabilities that it has, and you can look what your battle rating is by looking at the spawn point costs of your vehicles. I believe medium tanks go up to 150, and if you see 150 spawn points on your M4A3 as your first spawn, that means that you are in a full down tier. In RB mode, of course. In arcade, it doesn't work that way. And if you're on a full down tier, then it is absolutely deadly. You, of course, have to pay attention because it kind of plays like an MBT in that you don't have much side armor. If you get flanked, you are going to get killed. The Shermans are notoriously weak from the sides. But from the front, that sloped armor, that very well armored gun mantle as well, is very, very effective in a full down tier. I think it's like 2-point-something vehicles. They have a really hard time going through you. You have, of course, the 50 cal as well, which can deal with lightly armored targets. And the heat shell is going to penetrate absolutely everything. So yeah, pretty much my biggest advice is just to try and play the M4 105 only if you are in a full down tier or very close to full down tier. If you go up, you're going to lose those advantages. You're going to have some... Yeah, you're not really going to struggle with penetrating stuff, but you're going to lose your armor advantage, which you don't want. If you get in a full down tier, and you only play that in a full down tier, you can use the armor advantage and play it like a heavy tank. And it's great in that role. Of course, keep in mind you have to keep an eye on your lines of sight. You don't want to be overextending and getting flanked because, as I mentioned before, the sides are very, very weak. But if you can get at a decent range and you use a rangefinder, or if you can limit the lines of sight that the enemy has towards you, you could do some great stuff. British tank repair cost is whack for 7.3. They're useless against rockets and guns are too weak. Do you mean with APDS or without APDS? Because the British 7.3 lineup is likely one of the strongest, if not the strongest one in the game, at least for its own tier. They have a lot of tanks in their battle rating, and the APDS can go through the upper frontal plate of Tiger 2s. And you have a stabilizer when pretty much nothing else does. So yeah, the British 7.3 is pretty damn good. I love playing that. Oh wait, no, I'm supposed to give terrible advice, aren't I? You want to drive all the Centurions backwards. That is the trick. Use your engine as extra armor. Yes, that is definitely going to work out. Heartbreaker, why no AGM 114L for AH-64D? It's why the D was made. We are keeping the missile, of course, for the Russian premium version of the AH-64D, the AH-64DR. Yes. And then we're going to be introducing the AGM 114L as well. Why are the M18 sides garbage? Preacher, you might want to try and clean your screen. That usually helps. Epic Darkos, we can do that at the end of the stream. Strexo, what was the new update? There was no new update as far as I'm aware right now. Could you show that special candle for the Phantom EJ? I could, but remind me on Thursday. Do tune in on Thursday. We're going to have a regular Warfare stream with Tom and Mike at the same time. And if you remind me then I can show it. Right now I don't have the game loaded. This Monday stream usually does not have any gameplay. It's just for answering questions and giving you advice, usually. Although in this case it's going to be bad advice. 996997991. Give away the wig. I don't think you want that. To be fair, people have made some great success selling their bathwater. And this is not too far off right now. I could probably wring out this wig into a little jar and sell it, like $50. But I don't have an OnlyFans account yet, and I don't feel like doing that. Tom, do you watch anime? Yes, I watch all the animes. For example, I watch the Pokemons, and I watch the One Pieces, and I watch the American Dads as well. They're all very great animes. I personally prefer the ones with those really, really, really big storylines. That's always quite fun. I of course watch for the story, and I particularly prefer the ones with 2,000-year-old dragons. Yes, I think those are the best, really. And I wish I could have more Strike-Witch skins on my planes. But I thought you can't speak German. Spanish, but I have been learning on Duolingo how to speak some words in German. Of course, I'm not good at it yet, but I am making some progress. So I can read some things in German, yes. Will there be any new helis added to the game? Daniel, no. No more helis. In fact, we're not going to be adding any more vehicles ever. The last patch was the last patch for War Thunder. We are now going to all go on a permanent vacation and develop our next big game, which is going to be called Anime Waifu Simulator 2023, which is also going to include some tanks. So it's basically just Panzer Beetles, but higher budget. Tom, can you ask Mike when soon TM? Mike, when soon TM? I think he's dead. He's also surprisingly solid for an egg, to be honest. I think he's just sleeping right now. Totally accurate Girls and Panzer, indeed. Albus, have you ever played Girls and Panzer? I know I went on a crusade trying to get everyone to play the game at some point. How is Chelly doing? Chelly, of course, is currently in witness protection after her nudes got leaked. And that was a whole big polemic, really. I mean, can you imagine having your news leaked and it making to the national newspapers, international newspapers even? Even Edward Snowden has seen the Chelly nudes, which is just very, very embarrassing, really, for the tank. It's taking some time off now. It's going to be retiring from the public life for the time being, which I guess is a good timing because it is getting replaced now by the Challenger 3, which is the new, hotter version of it. And I hope it does well. Do you play SB? Just someone here. No, I only play real game modes. Why did German gets R3 and G91 F3 with 30 mils, while Italy gets R1 with 12.7, both at 8.7? Because the Germans like big guns. They have to overcompensate for their absolute lack of skill. Can you tell I really don't like German teams at times? They're a bit depressing. Imagine getting 15 kills in a game and you still lose. Germany, please, just play properly. I swear, by the way, that I have this theory that German teams don't unlock the ability to perceive capture points until at least 7.3. And even then, they kind of ignore capture points in general. Yeah. I think we need to do a big fundraiser at some point. The German players are a very, very unfortunate player base, of course. They are a very unfortunate group. We have to get together and buy them awesome glasses. I think it is about time that someone does something about it. Why did the P51D get added in my 2.7 Ground RB match? Are you sure it was a P51D? It might have been a P51A. There's a rare version of the P51, which is, I believe, a battle rating 3.0. It's a P51A. It was given away as a special reward during the Thunder League in 2015. And I can't recall if it carries bombs, but it is an early version of the P51 with 4 criticals. And that you can definitely face at 2.7. Can you send out a PSA on how to angle your Kruppstil? Desert Ranger, actually, you don't. As we all know, of course, Kruppstahl is completely invulnerable. You should definitely play your Tiger 1 by just facing straight on to the enemy. Just run right into the enemy spawn, essentially. Ignore any capture points, just run straight into the enemy spawn. Make sure there's as many enemies on your flanks as possible. You want, of course, get up very close, and you want to just shoot and stay perfectly still. Don't do that thing that other players do where they shoot and they go back into cover and they angle their armor so that the enemy can't kill them. No. You are better than that. You're going to go straight in front of the enemy. You're going to completely miss your shot, and then you're just going to sit there whilst your gun reloads. Make sure you don't angle at all. Present your perfectly flat plate. Yes, that is how you play the Tiger. And if you continue doing that, eventually we're going to see the Tiger that deserved here. That was a little bit too real. That was a little bit too real. When is another tech tree going to be added? Just a random, we did actually plant a few seeds a few years ago. Sadly, not all of them have made it. We have tried to give them plenty of water, but I think one of our employees might have sadly replaced the water with vodka, which worked well in the case of the Russian tech tree. The Russian tech tree, as you can see, is very fleshed out. The vodka definitely helped with that. I think back with the German tech tree, we used beer, which has also proven quite effective. But the Italian tech tree, we tried to use pasta sauce. It kind of worked. Tech tree did get started, but sadly isn't quite fleshed out. And I believe, which one was it? Oh yeah, we tried a Polish tech tree, and we tried invading the tree over and over again, but it didn't really quite work out. I don't think that one really took off, so yeah. We'll see. We'll try some different methods of springing those tech tree seeds. So maybe we can see some more tech trees in the future. Switzerland tree when? Patriotic Cancer. I believe, sadly, that Switzerland is a bit too high up. You can't really grow any trees that up high, so I'm afraid we'll never see a Switzerland tree, just because you can't really grow them up there. Did you ask the Stellinium elders about their encounters with the American elders? There was a lot of shouting involved. I want like UFO tree. Those tic-tac UFOs would rock in RRB. I unironically do too. When the last April Fool's event came out with the drones, I did actually bring it out into custom battles a few times, and it was great fun. I wished everyone could do it. Sadly, not everyone can. But yeah, I wish that some of those event vehicles sometimes come back. Maybe it's like a special joke tech tree where you can take them out into custom battles. I guess the problem would be coding the game in such a way that you can, well, play certain vehicles only in custom battles and not in actual battles. Are you ever going to buff bomber gunners? Well, yes, there's this key that is called the switch view key, which lets you control the gunners yourself. And, well, it all depends entirely on you, I suppose. You can fire from infinite range. Just need some practice hitting stuff. Oxy plus Mike equals Moxie. Oh god. Maybe... I was thinking the combination of Mike and Tom would be Mom. I am Mom. Okay, now my haircut looks... Why does my haircut suddenly remind me of Karen? Oh boy. I'm a Karen now. Odd boss, I would not really know, I suppose. It might be that they're trying to shoot at something else. It might be that the gun is already pointing that way. I'm not quite sure how the detection mechanics exactly work. Usually speaking, though, I believe, though, that the maximum range should be about 300 meters for guns to work. The problem, of course, is the gunners have to move their gun towards the targets, and they can be quite slow in that. And by the time the target might have gone out of the cone of vision again. A Taliban tech tree full of shopping carts with MGs and recoilless rifles, Toyota trucks and camels. I would unironically enjoy that. And we kind of have something very similar in the Type 60 SPRT, for example. 2 recoilless rifles and an absolutely tiny chassis. I wouldn't mind if we had that on some other vehicles as well. We actually have quite a few trucks in the game. We have the M6 Studebaker. I think it's the M6 Studebaker, which is an American truck, also used by the Russians. And we have the Katyusha truck, which actually might be a Studebaker. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's an indigenous design or not. But yeah, we have the trucks themselves. I wish we could have some gun platforms on that as well. Maybe that's how we get more SPAA. I don't know. I mean, you can put a recoilless rifle pretty much on anything. Actually, what we do definitely need is a Humvee. We absolutely need a Humvee. What is the best way to use the 45C in the used tech tree? 45C? What 45C? If you mean 45 caliber, then you just take your M1911 and drop straight into Vietnam. Pretend it's Fortnite. Can we get a French Vespa with recoilless rifles? Ah, but EBR boy, you're actually completely mistaken there. That was actually not a weapon. It was made to look like a weapon because of the rather dangerous situation in France in those times. Yes, it was actually secretly a baguette carrier. You could fit up to, I believe, 3 baguettes in the tube, and no one would stop you because they were scared shitless you were going to shoot them with a rocket. So it was a quite ingenious and safe way of transporting beer. Not beer, food. Why did I say beer? Yeah, Bosnian Ball, this one is sadly, it's quite bad. This is alcohol-free beer and it doesn't taste good, but for some reason I'm compelled to keep on drinking it, which is not good. Yes, Simon, the Vespa is Italian, but I believe it was used by the French. I think that specific model, I think, was used by the French. I might be wrong. If it was Italian, maybe they were trying to use meatballs. I can't recall. B-52, A-10, F-15, F-16, F-18, F-35 when? Tomorrow. Yes. I can bet you 1 silver lion that they come out tomorrow. Devlog tomorrow. Confirmed. 100%. Yes. We have the HMS Hood. For how long will you have the HMS Hood? I don't think we have the HMS Hood yet, do we? In any case, I'm definitely going to blow up the thing whenever it comes. How long is the stream going to last for? And also, Gaijin Christmas album, release date announcement when? We're probably going to go for another hour or so. So the usual time of 2 hours. And Gaijin Christmas announcement, Gaijin Christmas album announcement, I don't quite know. I can try to make an ASMR album all by myself, just 5 hours of continuous smooth talking into the microphone. But yeah, I can't really sing. The best way to get silver lions. Okay, the best way to get silver lions. Right. I think on the Sweden map there might be a hidden little zoo area which you can't usually access, but if you can do a little special Easter egg, you can do that. And they have a few lions there. I think it might even have a Madagascar reference in there. And if you can get that and show them into the water, into the docks, there are a few spray cans over there that were used to repaint boats in silver color, and you can use those to paint those lions silver. And each line, I think, is worth around 1 million SL, so it's quite profitable, really. The problem, of course, is that you have to do this in a public match, and not everyone is going to agree with your plan. They're going to try and shoot you. And if they do, you sadly aren't able of finishing that specific aspect. But yeah, paint your line silver. That is the TLDR of it. Gaijin, should I take full shells loadout on my German tanks? I feel I need to for my lack of skill and aiming. Yes, absolutely. In fact, every single tank you always want to be taking the absolute maximum amount of rounds that you can. Don't worry about the high risk of explosion. That's just it's a secondary thought. I mean, if you're getting shot at, you're going to die anyways, right? So don't worry about the extra ammo load. But you definitely don't want to be running out of ammo, right? I mean, A tiger, of course, famously can destroy 6 Shermans for every tiger. Since this is War Thunder, we are professional players. We get a 3 times multiplier in RB, so every time you spawn a tiger, you're going to get 18 kills, of course. And you might need some more ammunition for that. 18 kills, you might not be able to do with 18 shells. You may not even be able to do with a full ammo load, because German tiger players, of course, are very peculiar in that they do ranging shots first, even if the target is only 100 meters in front of them. They have to do ranging shots first, so they miss the shots on purpose, of course. And you need more ammo for that. And of course, there's always the secondary benefit of if your tank blows up. Since you have a full ammo load, you have a German equivalent of a nuke, which makes you automatically win the war. Yes. Are you being watched by upper people from Gaijin? I don't know. So far, I haven't received any angry pings by my superiors, so I think we are fine. I think, generally speaking, they only watch the update streams, not the regular ones. But I do know that the enlisted staff generally watches the enlisted streams on Friday, which I suppose is a bit disconcerting when I play the game badly. Should I rage quit in the middle of every wager? Yes, absolutely. Do not ever complete a wager. You don't need those golden eagles. You just, how do I put it? By winning those golden eagles, you're just conditioning yourself to enjoy the finer luxuries in life, right? If you never have a single golden eagle in your account, you are never tempted to have anything good. So you can just continue. Yes. I'm not sure where I was going with that, to be honest. Did you change your shirt today, Oxy? Yes, I was trying to actually find a funny shirt, but sadly I don't actually have any in my size right now, so it didn't quite work out. I was going to go full commit, like shaving the beard and everything. Didn't quite work out. Would you personally like to see ray tracing? I think ray tracing is a bit overrated, to be honest, and War Thunder has other aspects where the graphics could be improved that are not ray tracing, to be honest. I'm not even sure if ray tracing would work in this kind of game. I mean, the maps are pretty damn big. Ray tracing might just make the toasted PCs out there cry. So, I'm not sure. It would be nice, maybe if, in like a movie mode, maybe if ray tracing was limited to like replay, so you could have some really nice cinematics. But in actual gameplay, I don't think ray tracing would be that useful. Is there a formal process to transfer my soul to Gaijin? Yes, that is Dranger. You email our account with your credit card number and the 3 numbers on the back. That is very important, of course. This way we can, of course, confirm that you are you, and we will take hold of your soul. That's a joke, by the way, for legal reasons. That's a joke. Should I spend $10,000 on golden eagles? What's the conversion rate of that? I think, is it 25,000 golden eagles is like 100 euros? Thereabouts? I'm gonna say like $100. I don't think it's quite a correct conversion, but we'll just pretend. So 100 times 100, that's like 2.5 million golden eagles, I believe, for $10,000. 2.5 million golden eagles. Do you have an idea how many rolls of the loot boxes you can buy with those? Yeah. 2.5 million golden eagles. Get it. Sure. I mean, who needs a mortgage? Who needs a car? Who needs to live? Just, who needs anything physical when you can have 2.5 million golden eagles in War Thunder? Do you play other games? Yes, personally I do play a lot of RuneScape. I've been playing that since 2008 and still do. Cobra plays, yes, we just answered that actually, about the question with the full ammo on a tiger. Yes, you definitely want to take full ammo on a tiger. In fact, you want to take full ammo in everything. Absolutely everything. KV2, full ammo. Top tier MBT, full ammo. Absolutely. In fact, if you could bring more ammo, do that as well. Make sure your friends have full ammo. Oh yes, this is very important, by the way. A very high tip here, very secret, yes. You want to make sure that you're playing in a full squad. You want to make sure that every single one of you is taking full ammo. And you want to make sure that you are as close to each other as humanly possible, okay? If one of you blows up, you want to make sure that you all go out. That's what friendship is about, right? You don't want to stay behind. No. You want to all go out in a big fireball. And bonus points, you can actually help out the enemy get some faster RP by letting them bomb you and getting a quadra kill. Although with that amount of ammunition going off, they probably kill themselves, which is, I suppose, a benefit for you. You get a plane kill. See? It's big brain. How can a rocket jump and market garden in Warframe like Soldier TF2? A panzer shift, see, you joke, but you can kind of do that actually. Not in actual battles, but you can mod the game if you know how to, and you can mod aspects of the vehicles. Pretty much everything. What I used to do is swap out the gun on vehicles and make the gun have like 100 or 1,000 times more recoil. And it is actually properly modeled. You can make it so that every time you fire your mouse, for example, it does a backflip. So yeah, you can actually rocket jump. Or even better, if you have the football tanks, which of course no one has, the football tanks can by design jump up into the air. Does the narrator for the videos work for Gaijin or third party? As far as I'm aware, Bruce is third party. Now he gets commissioned for every one of the voice works, and he does other work outside of Gaijin as well. So I'm not sure if he's exactly hired directly by the company or if he's just commissioned for the voice acting. I do just know that he does do other jobs as well on the side. In fact, I think he does actually commission. So if you ever need voice work by Bruce, you could try asking him. Of course, no guarantee that he'll do it, but you can try asking him. If you have the money for it, of course. What is the reason why the mouse was removed? New Friends Gaming, the mouse was simply too damn thick. I mean, we want our players, of course, to be focused on the battle. And the German players already are having a hard time with that. As I mentioned before, we need to start a fundraiser so we can get every single German player some really good glasses. Hopefully with magnification as well. Maybe night vision, they might need that. And the mouse was just kind of distracting him too much. I mean, every time a mouse drove around, it couldn't really sneak around. The clap of its tracks was alerting the guards and your teammates. So we had to remove it because we could not allow this kind of lewdness in our PG-13 game. Can you get into detail on how to get SL? See, Mecha, I can, but I don't want to give you actual advice. I'm trying to do only bad advice to stream. Can you play World of Tanks on stream? Why would I want to play an inferior game? I would rather play Panzer Mädels, actually. I would generally like that. How do you do the teasers trailers? With bots or actual employees coordinating a screen? As far as I'm aware, it's with bots. If you have the know-how, in fact, Pandromodo does have the know-how. You can create some custom missions, and you can script everything. You can script the movement of the camera, you can script the movement of the bots, the action of the bots, all the good stuff. So for big scenes where tanks are pretty much driving straight, you can just use bots. You can set up a script for a custom mission and have it play out, and then record it with the replay. For more intricate stuff, you can either just hop into test drive or a custom mission yourself. I think that's what they do. Stuff like, for example, I believe when the was it Red Skies? Which one introduced the first swing wing? I think it was the SU-17, right? When did the SU-17 come out? I remember when the teaser trailer happened, we had the SU-17 animation come out, and that actually had to be manually animated by the employee responsible for making the recordings, because animations for them weren't quite ready yet. So there's a lot of programming behind those teasers. A surprising amount of programming. It's not just as simple as going into a battle and recording stuff. I think it might have been New Power, yes. 21st century US MBT one? Well, tell the Americans to actually build one. And they've been using the Abrams platform since the 1970s. I love it when the trolling works. What's the criteria for anything, for something being too experimental prototype to be in the game? I'm talking E100s versus anything added in the last year. Okay, unironically, generally speaking, it's about if anything was ever actually built. So the E100, for example, it did have a chassis that was in production. There was actually a chassis for the E100. I can't quite recall if the chassis itself was finished and drivable, but I know the chassis was being built. So there was something physical. Generally speaking, the problem with prototype vehicles is that many of them have never been built even in the mock-up stage. And anything that's a paper design only, we generally don't add. I think there might be some exceptions to that, but for the most part, paper-only designs we don't add. Anything that had some kind of mock-up or prototype build can be added. For example, the Key 94-2, I believe it was, had a full prototype built, but it was never flown. So there was no flight data, there was no anything, just the plane itself. That was finished a few days after the war ended, I believe. Anton here, please send a Mars coupon to this account. Yes, I will. Da comrade. Are these your real hairs? Davey Mod, yes, absolutely. Not. No, this is very much a wig. I am a very bald person. As an American, I am offended. There's nothing wrong with US tanks. Best tanks in the world. Yeah! I'm just going to do some finger guns. There you go. There were prototypes of the Panther II. Yes, but the Panther II is an interesting case. The Panther II, in real life, was only a hull. There was a hull of the Panther II, which was actually developed quite early. But it was deemed that it wasn't enough of an upgrade. So it wasn't, well, it didn't really go into production. There was a prototype of the Panther II hull, but no production. The problem with the one we have in game, the Panther II in the game, is that it wasn't realistic. The real Panther II, if it had been built, it would have still fitted the 75mm cannon with the Schmalturm, like the Panther F has. The one we have in the game has the long 88mm gun, which would have never fitted in that turret. So that's why the Panther II was removed from research. You can no longer get it. In fact, it probably will never come back. The mouse probably will still come back on the War Thunder Universes in every November, every year. Panther II, Quillian, and the King Tiger 105, they will not come back. At least I'm pretty sure they will not come back. Just implement a hull, nothing else. I mean, it wouldn't be that much of an upgrade. Pretty much the only thing they did was increase the armor of the side panel, so it would defeat anti-tank rifles. But then they just put side skirts on the regular Panther, and then they kind of solved the situation. Can we expect any new game modes for ground vehicles in a realistic setting? Yes, we're actually working on Tank Beach Volleyball, the beach episodes, as is famously known from the animes. And we're currently working on special models, so we can have some 3D bras and bikinis on the tanks. Of course, for the most part, we already have the ones with side skirts, which can kind of work. But we want to make sure that it is worth it. It's going to be a standalone game mode, of course, forever. And we're going to be using all the beach maps in the game. Of course, to play with the volleyballs, you have to use a cannon barrel. And if you flip over, then you'll get kicked out for lewdness. Should I equip flares or save the 50 grams for the performance? Oh, you absolutely want to save those 50 grams. 50 grams are a lot. They might make your plane turn faster by like 0.00001 G. What have flares ever done for you anyways, right? I mean, if you have a missile up you, hey, just think of it as extra boost. Yes? Make it like the Russians so that you get the missile stuck in your MiG. I believe it was a MiG-15 or MiG-17. And then you take it back home and you reverse engineer the missile. And all of a sudden, the Russians have the same kind of anti-air missile technology as the Americans have. Hello Tom, how do I become a War Thunder YouTuber? Do I clickbait with F14 added every video? Yes, very important. F14, big red circles, all caps in the title. And probably Photoshop a cleavage on the F14 as well. I think that would go very well. I know there's a very specific community which is very interested in the kind of thing, and you can definitely start off that way. Yes. Make also sure to put all the names of all the big YouTubers in your tags so that you are automatically recommended in their videos. People love that, absolutely. And make sure to also copy all the ideas of other people. Yes. So if you see someone big upload a video on a specific vehicle, make sure you have an exact a video on the exact same vehicle next day. Yes. Is there a possibility of more Australian aircraft? What's left, Flopreich? We have the boomerangs, which are indigenous designs, I think. Did the Australians make any more indigenous designs is the problem? Because if not, we have a few that have... I think there's a Beaufighter, which is an Australian camo, I believe. If you want to count that as Australian. The problem is Australia just didn't really have that many indigenous designs, I suppose. Any information about fixing up the bug and penetration spots that are connected to each other on tank's hull? This was any shell. It has 1 billion thickness. Cesarni, yes, so we are actually making sure we are going to be replacing all of our current optics materials with that, so we can increase the armor protection of the optics even more. And we're even working on a premium vehicle right now, which is going to be entirely covered in optics. Driver's optics, gunner optics, machine guns as well, coaxial machine guns, just all over the front of the tank. And we're going to be releasing it at Battering 3.0 with the Rheinmetall L44. Oh, the Bob Sample tank, oh god. If I wanted to drive a shed, I would put wheels on mine. Thunderbolt. Do we need more planes though? Are you sure we need the F-14? Are you sure we need the AC-130? Are you sure we need the Su-57? I don't think, you know, no, I don't think need is the right word. We want them, sure. The only way I could see us needing them is if they had enemy waifu skins. Then yes, if I can fly around an SU-22 and dunk on the noobs in a big TD anime waifu skin, then yes, absolutely, I can get behind that. Otherwise, let's get there slowly. I really want another new sound effect for the guns of all of them. How about we make a custom sound pack where myself and Tom try to recreate the sounds of every single gun and engine in the game, but just with our vocals, I suppose. So, Aiden go brrr, KV2 go boom. How does that sound? Joel, yes, I know. If I want to drive a shed, I would buy a TVR. Yes. Wait, no, I'm British. No, TVR best, I think. I don't think Tom even knows what a TVR is, to be honest. Okay, what is the next modern plane? It probably starts with an F and has a bunch of numbers behind that. Yes. That's going to be my only hint. I don't actually know, to be honest. I have no idea. Recreating sounds, copying Fly on subs. Oh, damn it. Oh no, Fly just copyright struck us. Can we get a PH in chat? F. Yes. I mean, yes, generally speaking, modern planes do have more than one number. Damn, the background looks sick. Walter Abrams, nice. Is that a leak? Yes, actually, you can notice that is a hover Abrams, the one that is right over here. It doesn't have tracks. It doesn't make any track marks either. You can see over here, you have the tracks moving and you have the dirt. You don't have there. This is actually a hover Abrams. You can see the water kind of like splashing out the other side. That is a hover Abrams, yes. Kind of like in that Battlefield, I believe it was 4 expansion, where you had floating T-90s. We are working on the new exclusive hover M1A2. and one A3 even, yes, which is going to come into the game in late 2021. Don't drink Jever, drink Krombacher. Yeah, I can get behind that. I mean, the problem is I just forgot to actually buy an alcohol-free beer on my way to the office, so I had to order this online, and this was the only thing they had, which I'm not happy about, but, you know. Guys, I broke into the Gaijin AQ. They're adding the F69. There, this is the closest you're going to get. This is the closest you're ever going to get to see Tom dabbing. Did you get your Hover Abrams documents after raiding Area 51? Desert Ranger. You know too much. Clip that. Actually, hold on. If I put my head on, I kind of look like Oxy, no? Okay, nah, you can still see the stubble is the problem. I need to get a proper shirt like Oxy has, the ones with the ducks and stuff. And I need to go full shave next time, and next time he's on vacation, I'm going to see if I can get as close as possible to Oxy. Dude, I was there. Oxy lost his mind and just told us everything. Drink local. Yeah, again, it's the problem. We have a pretty decent local beer brand, actually. I can't recall the name of it. Our office, by the way, is situated in Karlsruhe. And we have a decent beer here. The problem is they didn't have it in stock, at least the alcohol-free variants. I believe I have some in the fridge right now, which actually does have alcohol. I might get some of that after the stream. But Cricket, you're not seeing the bald. You're seeing the hair. Is Enlisted better than Fortnite? Well, given that you can't default dance in Enlisted, that alone makes it much better. Yes. You don't have to worry about where to drop or doing the epic deep dabs on your enemy. And you can't dress up as an enemy waifu yet. Lick your microphone. You need to do that. Why would I do that? I mean, I'm already pretty much kissing the microphone right now. I'm as close as I can get without eating foam. So you're not going to get the ASMR lick. Ronald, Oxy is currently on vacation. He will be back next Thursday for our regular streams. Today he is off doing his own videos, I believe. So you should be able to see a new video on his channel soon, hopefully. What does Gaijin think about the subject of top secret info leaked on the forums to dispute the subjective balance issues on their tanks? Obviously breaking laws is wholly frowned upon. Of course we don't want those at all, because it can actually get us into trouble as well. Especially any UK residents that we have in our company. Oxy, actually, being a UK resident, as well as a few other of the tech staff. And it is a really stupid idea to do that. Because here's the irony. By using leaked documents to try and fix a tank, they guaranteed we can't ever fix a tank, because we can't use those documents. And if we ever get the armor values close to what they actually are, we get in trouble. So, yeah, nice work. Good job. Of course, I'm just going to say, as the ironic version, is that this was all, of course, planned. We very deliberately make sure that every single tank is wrong. So it's like, what was it, Murphy's Law, I think, where the best way to get a correct answer is to first post a incorrect answer, right? So you want to know about something, you say something that is wrong, and someone will correct you. And there's a much higher chance of getting the answer that way than trying to ask the question directly. So this, of course, is the plan. We did this all on purpose. Murphy's Law. Next, we're going to implement the F-22, which will only go 400 kilometers per hour and only has AIM-9Bs. And we'll wait for the secret documents on that. Yes. Any words on detailed cockpits for US helicopters? What is wrong with them? I wouldn't actually know about that. Where is the other dude with weird hair? What do you mean? It's me. Can't you tell I'm totally British? Or if you mean the weird hair and that they have no hair, then it's still me. I'm just wearing a wig. Air support. There's this thing called sarcasm. Where can I handle my stolen military documents? Be quick, the military police is waiting on some house. Send them to Gaijin Secret Documents .ru and no, hold on. Gaijin Secret Documents at snailleaks.ru. Also make sure to include your credit card information so we know you are legit and not just someone trying to fake the secret documents. Don't do that. Don't. It's a joke for legal reasons. Yes. Can you enter Katyusha back and add BM21 rocket strike support? New Friends Gaming, I'm afraid that would not be possible simply because Katyusha is too powerful. We did the mistake once of adding the BM13 as an event vehicle, which you could get for a short time. In fact, I do have one myself. And it destroyed the game. It is simply way too powerful. I mean, you have, I believe, 10 launches of what is essentially KV-2 shells. You can be completely invisible on the Poland map by pretending to be one of the trucks that are there as decoration. And it was just killing everything. That's probably the main reason why the mouse was removed, was because the Katyusha killed it. It's too powerful to be left alive. And it was only using 0.1% of its actual power. So can you imagine if we ever actually reintroduce the Katyusha? It would be terrible. I can't understand wanting an E100 after getting the mouse. Well, the E100 is a bit of a special one. It's quite a rare vehicle simply because it is a tournament reward. So people who have it generally are quite good at the game. And not many people have it. And it's a bit different from the mouse. It has the same turret and the same gun, but the chassis behaves a lot differently. Funnily enough, the E100 actually has a lower power-to-weight ratio than the mouse. So, if you can believe it, it's even slower up a hill. But it has a higher top speed. It can go 40 kilometers per hour instead of 20. So if you're rolling down a hill, you can go double the speed. You can get pushed by your teammates as well, much more effectively. And the hull turns a bit more snappier. The mouse suffers a bit of the battleship effect, where the hull just doesn't really want to turn. The hull on the E100 is still slow, but it's noticeably better. It is noticeably better, which is useful for, well, any kind of city combat. You don't lose as much time trying to make it around the corner. And I'm again catching myself doing actual advice, so the bad advice would be because thick, extra round side skirts that you can shoot off. Oh yeah, you can actually legitimately shoot off the side skirts on the E100, by the way. They're like segmented into little sections, and you can shoot them off and expose the bare metal plate underneath. It is beautiful. I kind of use it like explosive reactive armor in a way. When one panel gets shut off, I just present the other side to my enemies. It's quite effective, actually. Surprisingly effective. Is it possible to add a spawn animation, like dropping in from a plane when spawning in? I think that would be a really bad idea. I can only imagine. Imagine if it was like Fortnite and you could select where to drop your tank. Can you imagine how many players would get stuck on roofs they couldn't drive off of anymore? Do you know if there's any work done on fixing the Type 93 or was it abandoned? We are working on the Type 93 too, which will fire I believe it's the AIM-2 Genie nuclear air-to-air missile. Yes, absolutely. What do you think if World War II battleships are resurrected today? Wasn't there a movie like that? I'm pretty sure there was a movie that was released like a few years ago. Battleships? I can't recall. I think it was Battleships. I'm not imagining this, am I? I'm pretty sure it was. How about the totally German VTOL Yak 191? Yes. Actually, unironically, I would really like to see the Yak 141. Because I kind of want to have a supersonic VTOL. The Yak 141 was a VTOL aircraft that could go supersonic. Although if the VTOL mechanics are the same as on the what's called on the Yak 38, then maybe not, because the VTOL on the Yak 38 is kind of bad. It's not very usable. Yeah, to be fair, the roof wouldn't have much to be left. That's sure true enough. In fact, it's actually real. Little Easter egg, I suppose, or information. The football Sheridans that you can use in the football events, it comes up every few months. I can't recall when the last one came up. I hope another tournament comes up soon. If you could take that out into a custom battle, you can actually jump all over the place. And the buildings on the Seversk 13 map, one of the newer maps, Seversk 13, that Russian town, if you jump on the roof of those apartment buildings, they actually start to crumble. They generally start to crumble. It's kind of nice. It's kind of neat. I like it. Cool man, yes, I am wearing a wig. I'm definitely not trying to be Oxy right now.
Boy.
Oh crap. Oh no, he's here as well. Help! Help!
What's going on here then?
I think the beer might not have been alcohol-free after all, because I'm all of a sudden I'm seeing double.
It's a little bit of a joke you're doing here, hey? Yeah?
Just a little bit.
Bit of a joke?
Just a
funny
little bit.
Joke, huh?
Yes.
With your little identical hair going on?
Do you like it? Is it pretty?
I mean, from a distance, you look a bit like that villain in the Call of Duty game.
I can see that. Also, I have no idea how you endure the heat with this, because holy crap, my
ran
head
all
is
the way
swaying
here.
right now. You ran all the way here as
I
well?
ran all the way here.
Oh boy.
Even though I'm dressed like I'm in an anime training montage.
Funnily enough, we were just talking about anime.
Oh, what have you done here? What have you done here? Eh?
No one snitch. No one snitch, okay? No one snitch.
This is terrible.
Well, Tom, do you want to take over now?
What's there to take over?
Well, you can now actually do the proper game advice. I've been doing a very great job at just making sure no one got any proper responses. I just promised like the F-14 coming out tomorrow and stuff like that. I hope you don't mind.
You look just like this tennis player from the 80s whose name I can't remember. But you look just like him. It's almost uncanny.
Well, have a seat. I'm going to switch over the camera and also give you stream stuff. Do you want a beer?
Maybe I've got a bit of definitely water here. But I could
Oh god, what's going on? Why are you over there? Oh, there we go.
have
Okay.
in the wrong spot.
Alright. Well, I'm going to leave you with the actual Oxy now. I'm still in the background. Oh god.
Don't leave.
Why am I sniffing your hair right now?
Why does this happen?
Okay, hold on. I actually need to relieve myself of the curse. Magic. It's very sweat. It's very shiny. Holy crap. Oh, I got a massive line, yeah.
That's brilliant.
This thing is like a little insert, which looks like a G-string, I suppose.
It does a bit.
A bit fishnetty, I suppose. Yeah. This is going to go out to dry. I'm going to leave you with Oxy now, and I'm going to finish my work.
Well,
You have fun.
now
Now it's up to you. I'm
really,
free.
I didn't really prepare for this, I'll be honest.
I mean, it's just your usual Monday stream. You could just do your stuff.
I just
and
sort of-
have fun.
I mean, this is so warm. This is so warm. When I left earlier on, it was sort of vaguely raining, and I thought that's fine then. When the sun came out, and it's just, what's the point? What is the point in this?
Do you want me to turn the AC?
Turn it off.
No, turn it down even
You
more.
still look like a different person.
I know.
I don't know how this has happened. I don't know how this has happened.
Well, I'm going to leave this here. Yeah, actually, I should leave it on mic. Hold on. How does it look?
You can sort of give it a go, I think. Now there's lots of me.
I don't think this works properly, does it? Kind of.
This is chaos. I quite like it though.
It is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful.
Fantastic. Well, this is great. This is absolutely brilliant. Well,
Enjoy yourself. I'll go back to work now.
you can stay if you want. We can sort of. Fair enough. Okay then. Well, I didn't really. Thanks. The thing is, I didn't really plan this far ahead, so I've just sort of appeared here and have my lovely water, which is definitely that. And yeah, it's technically my vacation today. I'm not really strictly meant to be here, but I'm here to do some voiceover stuff generally. So I've sort of appeared incidentally towards the end of the stream here. So I hope you had a lovely time with with Mike there. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but I can only imagine it was very very funny. Um, so yeah, I hope you're having a nice day. I'm here to well finish my video a little bit and also do some other incidental stuff for some other things I can't maybe talk about yet. I don't know. We'll see. But yes, for about I don't know 30 minutes, we can sort of round off. If you want to ask anything about War Thunder, I can give it a go. Um, or if you want to just I don't know talk about anything. I mean, I'm not really I'm not privy to the prior events of the stream and what went on, so it might have been really really weird. He wrote in the Minecraft joke book. Let's see what he wrote. Right. What did he do? His writing is somehow very similar to mine. It's like doctor's handwriting, where you sort of need to. It's like modern art, that kind of handwriting. I love it. Excellent. So I need to look at the other side of the screen for text today, as usually I look over here, but I can't because everything's reversed. How's it going? Let me sort of move my mouse. He, he thought Mike killed me for my hair. Yes, sadly not. I wish he did. It would be nice if my hair was not like this, but I mean, it's just obnoxious. I can't really do much with it. It's just very, very, don't know, big, I suppose. In the heat, it gets even worse. How do I know this is the real Oxy? I don't know. Ask me something that I don't know, only the real Oxy would know. I don't really know what that would be, though. Give me something. Hit me with a question. I can't even scroll over to look through the chat. This is terrible. I'm on the sort of budget mouse, the secondary mouse. This is absolutely dreadful. Do you know how old you are? No. I could give it a guess, but I really don't have much of an idea. Man, Flo, you're not getting me that way. You're not getting it that way. That's good though. That's pretty good. Close. Why is your hair so grey? My hair is just going grey. I mean, you can't really see it, but yeah, like because this camera has like an auto adjust, kind of a bleeds out color. So yeah, but a lot of my hair is very grey. I have mostly white hairs on the top of my head now. I can't tell you my game time, but that's a very good try though. But wearing this makes my head look massive. It's like when you used to play like PS2 games and when you finished it on the hardest difficulty, you could like play in big head mode. That's what I feel like right now, which is terrible. And I can't even undo this because I've got my lizard skin underneath. Where in the UK are you from? I'm from Kent. Usually sort of the most I don't know, you never really hear anything interesting happening in Kent. It's sort of a bit by London, well everywhere in the UK is a bit by London if you're not from the UK. Um it's like kind of coastal. There's lots of coasts going around, lots of quaint villages and that kind of thing. And yeah, it's a generally okay area. Pubs are very expensive though. It's like £4.80 for a pint, and I can't. I mean, I can't deal with that. That's not what I'm about. Any hints on the upcoming event? What upcoming event? Don't know why I tilted my head there, but I did anyway. I love Wales. I love Wales as well. I'm sort of I think I'm a quarter Welsh actually. I've been there a couple of times. I've got some. It's a bit depressing actually because I've got a lot of family in Wales, but I don't really know any of them, and it's like the link between my family, sort of my family in the UK and Wales is like so kind of, I don't know, loose that I'll in a few generations or years, I guess, we probably won't even know each other, which is a bit sad. But I mean, that's the sort of what existence is like, I suppose. I'm going to undo this. I'm going to die. Can't undo it too much though. No. Is that okay? That's fine. I'll keep it there. Excellent. Isn't Ken in the test flight map for British planes? Yeah. So on the test flight map, if you fly British aircraft, my house is on that map, and you can don't know, fly over it. I suppose. I can't really tell you where that is though, because I mean that'll be a bit weird. Um, you're a quarter Welsh or a quarter Whale? I think probably both at the same time, but not interchangeably. So they're sort of their own in the same section of the pie chart, I would say. Um, orally abuse the mic? I don't. Do you mean, but he's gone? Or do you mean this? I don't know if I would do that either. I know what would happen if I did that, and I don't so much fancy my chances of that going well for me. Have you been to Glasgow? Yeah, I've been to Glasgow a couple of times. I would like to go to Glasgow more, or to Scotland in general. I kind of like it. Um, but I'm getting pinged. Ooh, doesn't matter. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. I've been to Edinburgh as well. I also went to I don't know. All I remember about it, I was really young. It was like my mum was seeing this guy at the time, and it's like she described him as the most boring man in the world. And I remember going up on the train, and we were at the station in it was some, I don't know exactly where it was, but it was around Glasgow, I guess. And we kind of got there, and we pulled in, and she said, if you really don't want to, we'll just not get off the train, and we can just go back. But then my mum's boyfriend at the time sort of like appeared in the back of the window, and we had to get off and spend 2 weeks there. That was sort of my only experience overall with the North in that sense. And Christ, this is unlocking loads of memories for me now. I remember going to this guy's house. He lived with his mum, and his mum had a plant pot with a plant in it, and it was full of dice, just dice. Like the dice was the soil, but the plant was alive, and she was watering it, and it's just, I don't know. It was a really weird time. Christ, like there's loads of memories I never thought I'd get back. That's brilliant, excellent. Um, do you have do you have lots of spunk? Do you say? I don't really have any. I mean, I've got. If you mean like sort of youthful energy, then yes, I have that in droves. But not really so much the latter, or former rather, or any of them really. Yeah, she just I don't think she really wanted to sort of hang out with him, because all he did was sort of talk about rocks. But the thing is, I really like rocks. I went to a museum at the weekend, and there was so many rocks there. I learned so much about them. There was like this new type of iron I'd never heard of that comes out like really bright yellow. What's that about? That's brilliant. More of that, please. Anyway, are you ready to rocks? That would be a great name for a sort of geology show. I'd like that. Although I don't really know enough about rocks to make a show about it. But I mean, I could certainly give it a go one day. My good retirement fund. Ugh. Oxy, are bushes mandatory for the super Pershing? No, bushes aren't really mandatory for anything. I mean, it would be dishonest to say they wouldn't sort of help disguise the silhouette, but in general, it's like, um, you don't really need it, especially for the super Pershing, because there's not exactly that many weak points to cover. I mean, the weak points it has are sort of perpetual. You can't really hide them very well. So I wouldn't quite say so. I mean, obviously, it's good if you have them, but you don't really need them at all, I would say. Do you like fish fingers? No, I can't eat fish fingers. I don't. I don't really know why I can't eat them. But I think I can't remember what happened. I think it's that when I used to eat them when I was younger, it would make my face go all red, and I just thought, well, what's the point? So I never had them again. Um, I think it's like something in the like the flavorings or something. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure about that. Can you say I love? I could, but when I read that out, my brain said, "Don't say it because you'll say the name wrong." How do you pronounce your name? Then I'll do it. Um, do you like goat's cheese pizza? I don't think I've ever had goat's cheese before. Have I? No, I don't think I have. I just like double Gloucester. That's the only cheese I ever really have. Yeah, I don't know. Is goat's cheese the one that's sort of like paste? Or am I thinking of potatoes? I don't know. Food is just an endless sort of enigma to me in that sense. Hello, Nicholas. How are you? Just had a shot of vodka. Feeling good? Very nice. Um, do you want add new country in game? I mean, I would in the sense that I like, I guess, new stuff pretty much constantly. So that's always like a plus. But I don't really know. I don't think it's really necessary at this point. We have enough trees to really facilitate, well, a huge amount of vehicles. I mean, there are some trees that could be kind of interesting. Um, yeah, I can't really. Well, if I say what trees I think would be interesting, people will take it as those trees are coming, which I can't do. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really like I wouldn't be sad if we never got another country. But at the same time, it's like it would be kind of nice to have something at least. Um, some difficult stuff. Difficult stuff? Different stuff is what I wanted to say. Um, I'm really trying to read text. My eyes aren't really working. Goats aren't real? Um, yeah, I mean, I don't recall seeing them. I saw well, I can't remember if it was a goat or a sort of small cow. Um, they're quite similar, I think, when they're sort of at the same height. I can't remember. Will we ever get more Japanese vehicles? Yes. And will the Type 93 ever be consistent hitting targets? Yes, maybe. I can't really speak to that, but I think probably yes. I think it's just a vehicle on its own and as a platform. It's a little bit tricky. But I think there's always a couple of I can't remember. There's a couple of alterations being made to it, or at least maybe that's already passed now actually. But yeah, maybe in the future it'll have some improvements. I can't really speak to that right now though. Wired or unwired mouse? Um, I have a wireless mouse and it's mostly fine. It's the one we got through the Logitech sponsorship. Excuse me. So yeah, I have basically no issues with it. Got a couple of issues, I guess, with wireless headphones in the past. I don't really like those. But yeah, wireless mouse are pretty fine now. I don't really have many issues. I think overall quite happy with their performance. Is there a Philippine Air Force skin? Um, I can't recall actually. There might be. I know there's the closest thing really is the Philippines pea shooter, the premium one in the US tree, which is very very cheap on the market. You can get it there, and yeah, I can't recall any others. Maybe there are. I'm not sure. I'm very much not sure. Um, what Spitfire is best? That's I don't really know if that's a question that has an answer really. I mean, if you compare them all against each other, or if you compare them like relative to the BR, the answer changes. So yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, there are some standout options throughout the entire tree. Really, I mean, there isn't really there aren't really any Spitfires that are really lacking. I think the majority of them are okay. I can't really think of any that I really really dislike. I think the LF Mark 9 is probably my favorite, consistently was, and it's the only it's a Spitfire that I've flown in as well, which is kind of cool. I got to fly in a T9 conversion for the LF, which is very, very nice. And yeah, I don't know. That's probably my favorite, but I don't think it's sort of fair to say it's objectively the best one. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. But that's probably what I would go with. Can I get my love message now? It's because all I can hear is Doctor Disrespect yelling "Raoul" in my head when I think about it. So yes, I can't remember what your original message was. I think it was "I love you, Raoul." In which case, yes, I do. At least as much as you can love a concept, I suppose. But yes, much love to you. Each Spitfire is best at a certain thing. Effectively, yes. I mean, they don't exactly have. Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's difficult to really find a direct answer because they do all do different things. Well, that's a really awful way of wording that sentence. They sort of function very similarly, but they excel at different traits, all in all. So it's a very usable platform. Very, very nice. Lovely planes. Um, Oxy, are we getting Soviet IFVs or APCs? Maybe at some point. I don't know if or when, but it's not impossible for sure. Why does your hair make it look like you have a unibrow? Because, interestingly, this strand of hair that's here is going this way across my face. So to the untrained eye, it may look like I have one single eyebrow, but I don't actually if I do that. So there you go. Crises averted. Um, hmm. Really struggling to read this. I did a lot of running today, and my eyes are not focusing yet. If I sort of run, I just dehydrate myself into oblivion. So um, that's not a good thing for me. Did you try the naval event? I tried the last one. I quite liked it. I played some of the American destroyers and the Baltimore a lot. That was very, very fun. I love the Baltimore for those events. You sort of incidentally lag people into oblivion with all of the anti-air, which is very enjoyable. Well, not for them, probably, but nevertheless. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Are we getting the German Puma IFV anytime soon? No idea. Maybe at some point. Um, was for the bodysuit. It's a jacket that I use just if I'm doing exercise and stuff. I just wore it. Well, I sort of came here incidentally, so that's why I'm wearing it right now. I didn't really intend to wear it. It's only really for exercise, but I was doing exercise mid coming here, so I didn't really have time. Although I could be going scuba diving. Yes, that's a very apt point. Let me Here we go. Fantastic. This is what I like to see. You and my cat have the same name. You want to see a picture? Yes. Always. Jibs me picture. I'm going to look in this direction now because it's more comfortable for my back. Mm-hmm. Now I can actually scroll through the chat as well. Very cool. Any tips on how to play the pack wagon? Generally, the main thing is just to try and avoid overextending with it. It's one of those things that at close range, you don't really get that many advantages from using it. Well, from using it at close range, there's nothing really explicitly advantageous about playing it in such a location. I mean, the armor's worse, the lack of traverse means that you can't react to enemies very quickly, and the gun is good enough on its own to be able to engage at long range. So you can definitely well, snipe with it, or at least stick to the longer sight lines, as you don't really get any advantages playing it at close range. And I think once you're able to sort of mitigate that from the playstyle, it can do a lot, well, it can sort of work a lot better, at least from my perspective. I haven't played it for a really long time. I played it when it first came out, I think. But I haven't really played it since, because I only really play stuff to get camos and that kind of thing. Once I've got them all, I don't really play many, well, I don't really play the vehicle much after that, unless it's for video or something. In any case. Sorry if I've ignored your message. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Would you recommend a new crew slot for the F5E? I've just unlocked for Ground RB as I have the Phantom 2. I mean, it depends on you and your preference, really. I mean, whether you like using more than one aircraft. I mean, top tier especially, I don't really use many aircraft. So I think for me, I don't think I would make another crew slot. But if you sort of like CAS, I mean, it's definitely a very workable platform, and it's well, really good in ground RB for that. Because I mean, you've got heaps of ordnance, and even then, it's a very capable fighter as well. So it does have a lot of use. I mean, if you like CAS, I mean, yeah, I'll go for it. I mean, especially with the expert crew, it helps with the G locking with aircraft like that that do turn incredibly quickly, it is going to save you, especially when reacting to anti-air and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think so. If it's sort of something that suits your playstyle, absolutely, I would say. Let me see if I can get the YouTube one up as well. Doubling up, let's go. Very cool. Okay. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Awesome. Please add more features to customize the devices. That is a bit too vague for me, I think. I have no idea what this means. But, I mean, if you were to extrapolate and not send the same message 5 times, that would be very cool, I think. Philippines is a free trial of hell. It's so hot. Oh, man. Hopefully it's not too bad. I mean, it's kind of hot here, but I guess it's not really as hot as the more tropical areas. For me, it's really hot. I mean, in general, because a British person, so hot for me is like 18 degrees. And in my room now, it's like between 29 and 32 degrees constantly, even at night. So that's brilliant. I love that. And yeah, I'm not really a big fan of the heat. I don't do too well with it. I don't know. I don't really regulate heat very well as a human, which is not really that useful as a trait, I think. I have no idea what this means. I don't know what devices you want to customize. Anyway, I'm going to look up now. You could say it's 41 Celsius and we still drink coffee in the hot sun. Man, that's like we out here gatekeeping temperature. Sorry, I always say that. Yeah, like it's annoying because I don't really drink that much water, but I do drink a lot of tea and coffee. And so when it's really warm, I'll still drink tea and coffee. And it's a disaster because it makes me just really, really hot. And it's not a very fun thing to have to deal with, I guess. But I mean, I could just buy more orange juice. Apparently orange juice is bad for you. That broke my heart. I thought orange juice was good for you, but apparently not. Absolutely terrible. I bet Oxy won't see this message. Well, not too sure what a message is, but I did see it, so, I'm halfway there. What clips are likely to win on Thundershow's skill or luck? It's sort of a bit of a combination of both, I think. I mean, it's not really exclusive in the sense that one of them is better than the other. It's just like, how lucky your clip is or how, I guess, skillful your clip is. But the thing is, after a while, the kind of barrier for skill in those sorts of events, in the sense that making something sort of perpetually like interesting, like you look at it and think, oh, that's a really good shot. After a while, that kind of stagnates. I remember when ground forces first came out, and you could fight tanks and aircraft together, and somebody shot down an aircraft with a tank cannon. That was like a whoa, like a really big thing. And now shooting down aircraft with tank cannons is quite normal. So the kind of plateau of, I guess, skill in that sense does alternate. So I think it's the more luck-based things are probably more likely, but still, if you can get something very, very skillful and just satisfying to look at or watch, then, I mean, you definitely got a chance. Absolutely. Can you tell us the BRs of the new vehicles in the upcoming Battle Pass? I think they are, they've already been posted, but they are still preliminary BRs, so they may change. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. I think the don't take this as any sort of leak, by the way. It's already posted, and it as well is not final. I believe the 251 is 3.3. The Detroit is 5.0. The AMX is it's an AMX. I think my brain just broke. The 90mm French thing is 7.0, and I think the 0 is 4.7. But they are preliminary BRs, so they may change. We'll see. If you are British, why do you have an Indian accent? Now that is very, very funny. Thank you for this. absolutely fantastic. Um, use Panther D, please. In what context would you like me to do this? I'm not really sure what this means. Can't even read this comment. Is this English? I don't think it is. Where is the Mouse tank? It's not available currently, but it does sort of situationally come back for events. Generally speaking, it's available for War Thunder's birthday. It's around like the 5th of November, I think. That's where it was released previously. Obviously, there's nothing I can do to sort of say it will definitely be available again for the next birthday. It may be, it may not be. But there'll probably be opportunities to earn it again in the future. So, yeah, wait and see. I mean, it may come back again. It's not the most, I guess, usable tank in the game. It can be kind of tricky at times, but yeah, it's not unlikely that it'll never come back in some limited form again. Oxy-based? No. Your vacuum is still broken? Why have you not fixed it yet? I mean, I don't really know if I can come over and help, but I mean, I could try. Depends where you live. Don't tell me where you live, please. Can you give me a test drive for the Ersatz N10? I cannot. Do you happen to know what RP research bonus spaded vehicles receive? What do you mean? Do you mean when you spade the vehicle and you get the RP boost from it? Or, yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what you mean. I live in India. Come help me fix my curry machine. Can you make them out of a machine? I think I've had a curry once. Although I don't even know if it was a curry. I don't know. It was just sort of some kind of spicy paste. Like what happens when you, I guess, I don't know, crush a vegetable. It was a bit like that. I don't know if it was really that nice, but maybe that was a curry. I really don't know. I really don't know. Spicy paste, yeah. But basically, I don't really. I think it was a curry. It had a weird name. My dad sort of dropped it on the floor, if I remember. That was an engaging night. Exactly. Once the tank is spaded, you get a research bonus, but I have no clue of how to see how much. It depends on the vehicle BR wise. So whichever BR it is, and from there it will be a different amount. It's not universal. So a tank at 5.0 when spaded will not get the same amount as a tank at 7.0. So it's varied in that sense. There's no way. Well, maybe there's a chart somewhere because I believe it's down to BR, or at least the preliminary set BR that it comes down to. But I don't think it's close to a set amount like that. It kind of depends on where the vehicle was initially placed, and yeah, there's no kind of set way to see it. I think. How the video's going? It will probably be out in like 2 or 3 days. I think. Maybe that's why I'm sort of here as well. It's to do some voiceover stuff. So I'm here for that as well. Once I've done my other work. Oh, there's so much voice stuff to do, which is annoying because I shouldn't have run earlier because now I'm really out of breath. Well, I'm not really out of breath, but I will be if I need to speak a lot. So, going to be annoying, but we'll see. What does this mean? M22 Locust can't scout now. Since when? Reasonably long time ago. Excuse me. Back when it was tier 2, it could scout, but it was moved back down to tier 1. And tier 1 vehicles don't have scouting, only tier 2 vehicles do. I don't really know the explicit reason. I would probably say that it's because most vehicles in tier 1 are light tanks. And if they all had scouting, it would really kind of if every vehicle became a scout tank, even vehicles that don't play like scout tanks, it would change gameplay a lot, and it wouldn't really be I guess, a accurate representation of what the rest of the game is like. So I would guess that's why um, it's like that, but I really don't know. But yeah, that's why it doesn't have scouts anymore anyway. Um, your boy here is going to bed and sleep for 14 to 16 hours. That's that's a powerful assumption of a long sleep. I hope you manage to make it. I can like it's annoying with me. Even if I go to sleep at like I don't know 4 a.m., I'll wake up at 9 every day. Um, if I'm not working, which is very tricky. It's annoying. I can't. My body knows when it's light, and when it's light, I can't sleep at all, and it's very very annoying. But nevertheless, how many attempts of stabbing did you have to dodge on the way to the office? I did get yelled at twice. Some woman yelled at me out of a van, and then like some guy, as he came out of a shop with his friends, like said something to me. Um, I don't know. I suppose I'm not really dressed for the weather. Maybe that's why, but yeah. Uh, so no stabbing, just social uncomfortableness, which is sort of perpetual, I suppose. How can I join your football custom? There's not one going right now. Usually on Thursday we have one, or at least a couple of customs, and there'll be sort of, well, not really a tutorial, but an explanation of how to do that at the time. So yes, not today, but in the future. Your mother is awake. I hope she doesn't throw that slipper up my face. Is this sort of like a reference to Tom and Jerry or something? I don't really remember. That made me like reading that made me think of something I've seen where something like that happens. Um, but I don't know. I think my brain is just melting a bit. It's very very warm here. It's about 30 degrees outside, well, at least according to my temperature thing. Anyway. Um, if my dudes, if you say the same message over and over again, it's just gonna get filtered out. You need to not do this, please. It's very, very difficult. I've not met Bruce in person, no. He's a very nice dude, though, from what I understand. Hopefully, at some point, we can do some more events again in the future when, it's a bit safer to travel and that kind of thing. So, yeah, maybe at some point we'll meet, which would be nice. I very much like that. Um, which country are you in? I'm in Germany right now, for the time being. I'm initially from the UK, and I'll probably be back there at some point, but currently in Germain. And yeah, it's weirdly warm. You wouldn't really have thought of Germany as a warm place, but it depressingly is. Um, yeah, it's all right though. I don't mind it too much most of the time, which is okay. It's a decent place, all things considered. Very very clean as well. The city. It's a very very clean city actually. I can't fault it on that front at all. Bruce is such a cool dude. Yeah, he really is. Yeah, help write some of the scripts he uses sometimes, and he's yeah, very very nice guy, very talented as well for a VA. Really really good stuff. Very I don't know, very nice voice, very very nice voice. Good guy. Yeah, yeah, we have an office over in Germany that I work in, along with Mike and lots of other people as well, and it's very very nice. I have a nice office. It's sort of not in the city center. It's kind of like I guess 20 minutes away from the city center, so it's a little less like noisy and loud than most places. Why did I do that? No, it looks like I've got a pyramid on my head. So yeah, it's a nice location, um, and I quite like it overall. Hmm. Where are the devs based? There's a couple of offices that there are developers, well, so predominantly for developers. There's a lot in the Moscow office, and there's a couple more in Europe. I can't remember exactly where the main developer offices are, but there's a couple of them. We do have some developers here as well. We've got 3 in-house devs here, and they do very good work. Lots of different stuff. One works chiefly on graphics. One's mostly on I think aircraft weaponry and helicopters, and I think the other is on parts of the interface. So yeah, we've got some good devs here, and they're hugely talented at what they do. I literally, if I kind of find a bug or an issue, I'll go to the guy and say, "Hello, what's this?" And within like 24 hours at 4 a.m., I'll get a message saying it's fixed. So they work incredibly hard on that kind of thing. So yeah, it's nice to have devs around. Very very nice. There is 7 hurricanes in game. Which one is your favorite? Um, I quite like the Mark One late. I think that might be my favorite. It's just like really maneuverable. Doesn't have as many guns as the Mark Two B, but it's still just it works. I mean, it doesn't run out of ammo really. It's really really effective, really agile. The only negative really is that it hates pulling into the negative, which can make maneuvering a little bit tricky. But yeah, it's probably my favorite. I think it's the one I've played the most. I don't really like the hurricanes when they get heavy. So like the one C with the 420s and the Russian version with the Shvaks. I mean, they're offensively really really good, um, but they just don't have the agility, and that's really what I like about the hurricanes. So yeah, I quite like the Mark One late. I think. How long do you plan to do this job? I don't know. It sort of depends on, I guess, future developments and what opportunities there are here in the long run. But there's still a lot of things that I want to do. So yeah, probably not for a while. But we'll sort of see how things go, I guess. It's a very nice opportunity though, all the same. So I can't really fault it for that. How often does the mouse come back? It's effectively, well, again, it's a common question, and it's a question that I can't really give a an accurate answer to, because over the last year it was given out sort of a timed event for War Thunder's birthday. Maybe that'll happen again this year, but I don't know. It's not impossible, but at the same time, it's not explicitly confirmed. I can't confirm that, so I can't really say. But I think because of how sort of beloved the mouse is, it's not unlikely to never come back again. But that's really the most I can really say about it right now. Any hope on the return of the Tiger 2 105? Probably not very likely. I think if it were to ever come back, it would probably be in a very, very limited release. Um, but I think, given the reason why it was removed, it probably isn't very likely to come back at this point. But at the same time, I can't really confirm either way. Maybe it's not a constant either way. Unlikely, but not impossible is really the most I can say. I think. Will the new update be in Turkish tanks? Probably not, and that's very very unlikely. Maybe in the future there'll be another Turkish vehicle added, but excuse me, I don't really know how likely that is at this stage. I think. But we do have those, very fun actually. I've used it a fair bit, not a huge amount, as I don't really play top tier very much. I don't really like the feedback loop. But yeah, it's a pretty nice one. Some hope is good enough for me. Yeah, well, that's hopefully all I can really give you there, I guess. Yeah, because I can't really confirm either way. Um, my eyes are going weird. Uh, could there be a drone tank such as the combat tested URAL 9? Maybe like far off in the future, I suppose. I mean, I don't think that's a technology that's, I guess, at the forefront of development, at least for War Thunder, that kind of thing, at least in consideration. Um, maybe down the line. I mean, when there are sort of limited things to add, it could be possible, but I don't know how likely, I would say. Um, what else is there? Um, my eyes are going weird. I can't read. Why can't I read? Why is my brain doing this? Um, what happened to the Middle Eastern tree that was planned to be added? Is it cancelled? There's never been a tree that's planned to be added. You've probably seen one of the fan-made ones. Not a anything that's planned to be released, I'm afraid. Yes, please don't. I don't think that's a real link. Don't click it. Bye, dude, to you too. Hope you have a nice day. Gonna go bye? Oh, thank you for your message. That's very sweet. Hope you have a nice day, evening or night, MB. Your name reminds me of something, actually. Yeah, it's quite nice. Anyway, hope you have a nice day or evening. I'm not sure. Well, both at the same time. Why not? In the same vein of having breakfast for dinner, that kind of thing. Pretty sure we can get skins in the marketplace. Yeah, you can. I mean, there's lots of skins in the marketplace. For all kinds of nations, even nations we don't have in the game, which is quite nice. So there's lots of different stuff you can get there. There's a lot of I can't remember who was asking, but there's a couple of Iranian skins on the marketplace. Can we get that Chinese Terminator knockoff? Maybe at some point. I mean, I don't really know if anything like that's planned. I mean, and as well, it's not really my place to potentially leak anything, so I cannot say. Maybe in the future, maybe not. It is difficult to really say. Will we see a rework on British tanks? I'm not really sure what you mean by rework. Do you mean more tanks added or what? BR changes are so good. I can't play around without dying, man. Awesome, thanks. I mean, that's not really down to the BR changes. I mean, if you were top tier every game, is the implication that you would just never die? That is an interesting comment. Nevertheless, yes, someone's probably downloading something. So the internet may be dying a little bit, but hopefully it will come back soon. We'll see. Maybe. Gaudi to you too. The Anubis. Man, Egypt's cool. Dude, like, I got that Assassin's Creed game ages ago. I don't really like Assassin's Creed because, I mean, I don't know, it's one of those games that feels kind of hollow, I guess, in terms of what it actually is as a game. But I love that game for just like going into pyramids and stuff. Like, that's just cool. Man, I love it. I think pyramids are really cool. There's just stuff inside them that we don't know about, maybe, and I like that. I know. I like the ability of exploring stuff. That's always fun. Yeah, someone may be downloading something or watching YouTube, as sometimes seems to happen. Coincidentally, as Mike leaves to go back to the office. Curious. No, it's probably something completely incidental. But yes, I mean that's the negative of streaming from an office connection is that there are other people who are usually downloading lots of stuff. So it can be a little bit tricky sometimes. But hopefully it calms down soon. I think it probably will. Yes, we'll see. They have no armor in relation to British tanks. A lot of them very much do. And the ones that don't shouldn't be played in such a way where they rely on armor. So I guess a rework based on that statement, I can't really say anything to that. I mean, I don't mean to sort of be unkind, but if you think a lot of the tanks that you're dying in need more armor, you should be playing them in such a way that means they're not relying on it to function. A lot of the British tanks are more mobile and don't really brawl very well. They have a very slow reverse gear, so they can't get out of trouble quickly. They've got weak side armor, etc., etc. They're not vehicles that need to rely on the armor, apart from tanks like the Churchills, for example. So all I can really say in sort of kindest way is adjust your playstyle, really. There's nothing else to really say to that, I think. Um, where to Eggman? We swapped out. We tapped out. Is that the right one? I don't know. We swapped for a bit. He'll be back on Thursday with me as well, so we can both have the sort of usual, I guess, fun hijink session that we usually have. And before Mike is responsible, maybe. I mean, he's the only one here right now, apart from one of our developers who I know isn't downloading anything because I already spoke to him earlier. I don't want to read Among Us today. Please don't do this. This ain't what I want, Chief. Beer with Boom, isn't this tea with Oxy? It is effectively, but it's my vacation today. I'm not working, but I was coming to the office anyway to do some voiceover stuff. So I have taken over for the last sort of portion of the stream. So yeah, it was sort of I guess a little spin-off, which is quite fun. Mike with his little hair. His hair's still there. I could try sort of putting it on. It's dried off now, so I can sort of double up. Look at this. Is this, not peak entertainment? I feel like I don't know, like one of those women you see from the 30s who had way too much time on their hands. Although depressingly, it sort of looks like this is my actual hair. Although, don't know, probably not. I think I'll take this off now. What a rigmarole that was. Fantastic. I mean, 3 hours stream? Maybe. I probably won't do 3 hours, but I can do a little bit longer. Depends if there's more stuff people want to ask, I guess. But yes, I don't really like taking up too much time on these because after a while, I guess most of the questions are asked, I guess. So, there's not, I guess, much worth in having like a really long stream, but we'll see. Maybe I can continue a little bit longer. I don't want to do too much talking before I record though, because if I do that, I will be crippled for doing the actual recording later, and I'm sort of effectively being commissioned for one thing I'm doing, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I need to make sure I have some vocal ability left for that. So hello, Sono, how you doing? Chief, my mans. Wonderful boy. How's it going? How many aircraft do you have left to get? Or finish, rather. What does this say? What does this mean? Sometimes the YouTube chat reminds me of modern art, and I really like that. I mean, it makes my brain think in ways I never thought I needed to. And for that, I'm immensely grateful. Thank you, YouTube chat. Yes. Double hair. Wonderful. Will there be World War II ship? This statement is, I think, a bit too vague for me to really comment on. Yes, I think. We'll see. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? I am doing okay. It's my day off today, but I'm here to do some other work, and I thought I would hijack the stream for this sort of tail end, which is nice because this is sort of my only opportunity in the week to talk to people. So it's kind of nice for that, I guess, vaguely selfish reason. So yeah, it's nice. When can we expect the event? Which event do you mean? 8 left? Nice, man. Man, you've really been powering through those. That's cool. Is there like one that you're really not looking forward to doing? I think the last, back when I'd spaded every vehicle in the game, I think the last thing I had to spade was the Coelian, I think it was. That was the last one I ever spaded. Yeah, Are there any that you're really not looking forward to? Um, I PayPal you 25. You gift me the new battle pass. Deal? Please don't do that. Maintain your money for things that you enjoy, please. Unless the things you enjoy happen to be the battle pass. But I mean, don't know. Buy yourself a treat. A nice don't know, some new pillow covers or something. I don't know what people enjoy. Um, anyway, um, is there a Greek flag decal? I think so. Yeah, I would have thought there is. I play my KV2 at top tier lol. Very cool. I'm glad to hear this. Summer event? I can't really say when unannounced events, if, well, will or even if they will begin. All I can really say is that if you look on the prior trends to, events in the past, you can sort of guess, I suppose, when things appear. What does this mean? Is that the real Tom? No. I don't really know where the real Tom is, which is a shame, but, China needs helicopters? Yeah, at some point we'll probably get some Chinese helicopters. I don't know if or when, but I mean, they've got some pretty interesting ones actually, so it will be nice to see them at some point. Don't know when though, but, we'll see at some point. Probably. I miss waking up to vehicle announcements. Well, maybe, maybe it won't be too long before there'll be some more. Who knows? We'll see. Why did the Welsh and Scottish flags get removed? They were never removed. They were never there to be bought perpetually. I believe they first came back for, it was like for the World Cup, I think. You could buy the St. George's Cross English flag and the Welsh flag and Scottish flag, and I think the Scottish flag did as well come back for St Andrew's Day as well. So they have been available in different events and that kind of thing, but I don't know if they'll be back constantly in the future. Rip German internet? Yeah, it's because people are downloading stuff or just, don't know, watching lots of YouTube or something. So, yeah, it doesn't usually happen. Not on a Monday anyway, but eh. Anywhere in Europe that you would like to travel to? I don't know really. Traveling is sort of a bit spooky. I don't really like being around people I don't understand. Makes my brain think I'm going to die. So traveling's not like the most enjoyable thing for me. I'd like to see some nice views though. Maybe maybe Switzerland would be nice. I'm not sure. I don't really think about it that much. Maybe at some point. I'd probably need someone to travel with though, and I don't really know who I would travel with. So that's the first hurdle. But once that is conquered, I don't know. Maybe I'll do some traveling one day. We'll see. It really is jumping around today, actually. I don't know why it's jumping at such capacity. Oh well. How was your vacation? Well, this is my vacation, basically. I think I'm off until Wednesday, but it's not really like a vacation to, I guess, like hang out and relax or anything like that. It's to finish my video. So still working effectively, but it's nice. When you said spaded every vehicle in game, did you play 20,000 hours? Yes, I did. I have over 20,000 hours in this game. That's a little hint for you. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think I used GE for some of them because I mean, had GE from stuff, and if I wanted to buy, I don't know, parts or belts or something, I'd probably use those. But like, over 95% of vehicles, probably even close to like 97, 98% of vehicles, I spaded completely on my own. I like completing stuff. It suits my brain. Yes. So the way I count my hours in this sort of little game that we have going is that it counts the active seconds that I have in the game. So that means if I'm like in the hangar doing something, or if I'm in a battle, it will count the active seconds. And if it were to count, say, just the time I have, this statistic is meaningless basically. But if I were to count the time I've had the game open, I think it's just over 50,000 hours. That doesn't mean I've played 50,000 hours. It means the game, my client has been running for that amount of time. But I have been playing for a fair bit over 20,000 as in active impact. So yes, I have spaded everything. And it took an incredibly long time. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I don't have spaded currently because I don't really have as much time to play casually as I used to. I don't know when, like last year at least, I think I perpetually had almost everything spaded, which was very, very, well, it was sort of nice. It's like that South Park meme where it's like, now we can finally play the game. But yeah, that was the sort of prerequisite to starting my YouTube channel. I said that I would start making videos once I'd spaded everything, and I did, and that's why I started it. And it was yeah, long time ago now actually. When will we have a Hurricane Mark 1? Don't know if we will. We already have a lot of Hurricanes that play very, very similarly, so I don't know if it's likely that we'll see that one. We already have the premium FAA, which may come back at some point. I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I would love to have more Hurricanes. They're some of my like favorite aircraft in the entire game. But I don't know if we really need too many more of them. Also, all the ships, yeah, I actually really like naval, like destroyer gameplay and like MTB gameplay. I really really like. So all the ships as well. There's a couple of battleships and heavy cruisers I don't think I have spaded now, but yeah, from like I think from the update before BBs were added, I had everything spaded. And no, I really like naval. Like it's just it's something that I think, at least for me, that I can play when I'm trying to like relax and stuff, because it's more slower pace. You don't need to have like that constant vigilance that you do with tanks. So I do really like naval. Obviously, I think it has its sort of its flaws as a mode, but nevertheless, I really like it. Do you have stats for how many players play arcade, realistic, and sim? Yes, we have stats for effectively everything. Everything you can kind of conceive of for having a data point, it's monitored. I can confirm this, yes. What do you do for fun in game? Usually I like to, well, spade stuff and get camos. I like unlocking camos. I don't know, it's just there's a part of my brain that likes completing stuff. And it likes just seeing stuff finished. And I think, so I get a lot of satisfaction from doing that effectively. And like, I don't really like, say if there's a vehicle that I know is like really, really easy to use. I don't know, something like the KV-1s or like, I don't really know, anything like that. Something that's like kind of easy and consistent, like the T14 as well is like really easy tank to use. I don't like playing a vehicle over and over and over again if there's nothing I can kind of achieve from it. So I just play stuff really to complete things around the vehicle. Like Spader, if it's for like a video, that's a separate thing, or if there's a camo to get, that's really what I will do. And I get kind of, I guess, satisfaction from doing that rather than like, I guess, winning or that kind of thing. It's not something I focus on too much. And I think if you focus on the game in that way, you kind of lose at it because you're kind of putting yourself in putting yourself in a situation where you kind of, it's hard to describe really. It's hard to describe. I think if you focus too much on that side of things, you kind of treat the game more like a task or like a job. And I think that's when people start getting angry at a game like this. So, I mean, that's how I've played this game for so long, and it doesn't annoy me at all because I just need to not look at the game in the same way, or at least in that way. And that I think, at least for me, that's how I can sort of have perpetual enjoyment with the game. Because when you're like spading stuff or you're getting camos, you're kind of making incremental progress. And if you like lose a game and you get 2 kills, then it's like you've achieved something. You haven't like, I guess lost out on something. You've made a kind of incremental step towards your progress, which for me is a really good, I think, kind of perpetual feedback loop, and I like that. And yeah, that's sort of how I approach the game, and I really like it like that. What is the Civil War occurring here? Please let submarines come to naval. Um, I don't know if it really would add that much. I think it's interesting in theory, but I don't really know if it's likely to happen anytime soon. I mean, I don't know too much about it, but from what I understand, the submarines that have been recently added to World of Warships have not gone down very well with the core player base. I don't know enough about it, so maybe I'm completely wrong in this assumption. But I don't believe they've been received very, very well for the same kind of gameplay fears that I think I kind of assumed may happen if they came to War Thunder. So it would be interesting in theory, but I think it has the potential to really make a lot of the game a bit, well, slower than it already is. Naval's already a very slow mode, and I think staggering it even further probably isn't the best thing to do right now. So I don't know if it will be that likely to see submarines anytime soon, but maybe, I don't know. I really don't know, but I don't know if it would be really the best thing to do, at least right now. That's my opinion, though. I can't really speak for anyone else. Hello? What's this? Everything is fine. Perhaps. When another event like the FFA Hurry, it was really good. I don't know when. I think, from what I recall, that event only happened because that hurricane was lying around from something else that was scrapped. I think if you guys remember, back when they had I think it was called like War Diaries, and you had it was like, I think the plan was that you can get vehicles and camos from that kind of thing, and that was eventually scrapped, and so the vehicles were all left over. I think the Hurricane was one of those vehicles that was then released afterwards. So I don't think there's really the ability to do too many of those. But maybe in the future. I mean, obviously, I really like those kind of events. Oh, it's nice. Like low tier premiums that are kind of a bit unique but interesting. That's kind of my favorite era of things. I'll do this up now. But yeah, don't know. Maybe I'd like to see more. In any case, they're pretty fun. Low tier stuff. I mean, low tier premiums at least seem to be more. I don't know, like more unique, like more fun. There's less pressure to play them, I think, and I really like that. So yeah, I'd really like to see some more in the future, but I can't really speak to if and when there will be more. Maybe though, we will see. Thank you, chat, for this wonderful period of my life. That could be my epitaph, I think. Maybe that will. What's your favorite jet to use? I don't really play jets that much in AirRB. What would my favorite be? I don't know. That's tricky. It might be the Vampire. I really do like the Vampire, actually. I don't know what it is about it. It's just a vehicle that clicks for me. It has that kind of reliable mobility, or like agility, rather. And I don't know. I really like it. I really like it. And has this really nice red camo on the marketplace as well. And that's I don't know. It makes, I don't know. Red stuff is cooler anyway, so I like that. Yeah, probably the Vampire would be my answer. I would say. Have a good day. You too. You too. Stop, please, messaging me. I usually get spammed if something terrible has gone on. Have I had a privacy breach? That's usually the case. Well, not really. We're fine, I think. For now. We'll see. Will there be any new nations soon? Can't say. Maybe at some point, maybe not. Not really, yeah, nothing I can really say, I guess. It's this is, I guess, today's like a bit of a kind of meme day, I guess, but generally this is a more advice centered stream to talk about the game, not really to go over upcoming um content, that kind of thing. It's you know, more chill, I guess, just sort of light advice talking about the game and what kind of well, about the things that are currently active in it rather. Pretty much. Mm. I cannot read this language. Can you explain to us what is useful actions? What's the context of this? I'm not really sure what you mean. Do you mean like useful actions relative to like getting the best squad? Is that what that means? Is that what you mean? I'm not sure. Uh, I think it would probably generally just mean like getting kills around other teammates, and if it's for tanks, getting points, and playing the objective and that kind of thing. I don't know. I'd have to ask about that, but that'll be my guess. But I'm not sure apart from that. What's the reload speed on the IS-2 with an ace crew? I can't remember actually. I want to say it's like 20.5 seconds or something. No, I think that's another one. I think. I really can't remember. I haven't played it for a while. When is your barber scheduled? Never. I like my hair like it is. I'm sorry if it upsets you or I don't know, cause you anger. People attack what they don't understand, which I've learned very, very rapidly in this job. But it's still pretty fun. No, I like how it is. So, I mean, you can try harder if you like, but it won't get anywhere. Um, yeah, I'm not sure about the new sim rewards. I would have to ask about that. But yeah, I'm not sure. I vaguely know about it, but I wouldn't want to explain it from my perspective because I don't think I'll probably misremember some details. So I don't want to, present something I'm not completely certain on as concrete. So I won't do that right now. I'll see if I can look into that. Face so smooth. It's just what my face is like. I don't really sort of get much hair on my face. Doesn't work. Don't really know why, but it sort of all goes here. This is where the hair budget went. Budget, I say. Um, but yeah, I don't know. How much longer you do the stream for? Probably not very long. Maybe like another 10, 15 minutes, and then I will drink like 2 liters of water and go from there to do my other stuff today. I'm going to probably be here for about another 9 hours. So this is my break effectively. But yeah, we'll see. Probably not too much longer though, because otherwise I will just lose all vocal ability and will not work very well. So I will not be here for too much longer, probably. What about Bismarck? Question mark, question mark, question mark? I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Egg eating stream when? I seldom think it's useful to cannibalize, but maybe at some point. Maybe when there's like a really big event or something, we can do an egg. Or like if we do like a charity marathon or something. At some point. It will have to happen. It will have to happen at some point. We do have like an oven here, so I can make an egg, I guess. So we will see. Maybe. There were lots of new vehicles added to the game. Are you planning to update your YouTube list? Do you mean the rare vehicle list? Probably at some point I'll do like another one covering everything. But I don't know when that will be. I'd like to though, because those videos are quite fun. It's like when I used to do those list videos. They were fun, but it felt kind of like lazy content because like I knew people would watch them, and it's like I don't know. It's why I like my normal style of video. Um, maybe I'll do more of those kind of things in the future. But hmm. Not sure. Maybe. I can try. Maybe. Tier 7 US jet you're most excited for? Not sure. I'm not really that well versed in uh, jets in general. I mean, especially like more modern stuff like that. I don't know too much about it. I'm more interested in the sort of earlier stuff, I think. So I'm not really sure. I'm kind of excited to see what appears, but I'm not really holding out for anything in particular, I would say. Is the Hurry FFA rare or lots of people have it? I think lots of people have it, but not a lot of people use it because it's a vehicle that if you're already sort of quite far up the tree, you don't really need to use it again. Like it's a vehicle that it's like a collector's vehicle, really. So yeah, a lot of people probably have it, but don't use it too much, I would say. Rotund in the chat. The only person subscribed to my Twitch. Let's go. Very nice. Can we yes, we can. Bada bing. Two brothers. I don't even know what this means. Thoughts on the Battle Pass EBR battle rating? I haven't used it, so speaking about it indirectly, I think is not really that useful. So I'll have to wait and see. And I mean, it's not released yet. It's on the client for testing, so the BR may even change when it becomes available for earnings. So I don't think it's a bit reductive to comment on it now. So yeah, I can't really give my fair thoughts yet. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out when it comes available. Oxy, be honest. Do you think tanks like the EBR should be on a limited time event or in the regular tech tree? I think a lot of the reason is that, and this isn't sort of an official stance, but if I had to kind of guess as to why it's like this, it's because those are vehicles that, when used in bulk, disrupt the flow of general gameplay. Like, if the entire team is full of really fast mobile vehicles like that, they can absolutely kind of destroy or dismantle, rather, the flow of how general matches work, as the maps don't really cater to vehicles constantly working like that. And I think by having them as limited events like this, it makes it so that down the line, matches aren't flooded with those kind of vehicles. Because I remember when the Hellcat first came out and every match was full of the Hellcat, it was horrible to play because the game just didn't really work with vehicles that kind of function in that way. So that would be sort of my guess as to why it's done this way. To keep those play styles more kind of niche and limited so they don't kind of disrupt the regular gameplay. But I don't know. Maybe there's another reason. But from what I understand, at least from kind of as a guess, that's probably what I would go with. But I don't know. And I mean, there are vehicles in the tech tree that are prototypes. There are vehicles in the premium tree that are prototypes. It's not, you can see people make very kind of, I guess, I don't mean to be unkind, but very lazy arguments of like, this tree in tech tree, this vehicle in tech tree prototype, this vehicle in premium tree production run, therefore game is destroyed or something. It's like it's not. It's a very reductive way to look at it because there's cases of that all over the place, and they're not, synonymous. They go either way. There are lots of vehicles in the premium tree that are prototype. There are lots of vehicles in the premium tree that aren't, and vice versa. So it's just the way it goes. I mean, it's not either way. You say subs aren't kind. We already have sub chasers in the game. Yes, you got me. Absolutely. We do indeed. We do indeed. Favorite type of milk? I don't know. I just usually have whatever milk we have. I don't really have flavored milk very much. I don't know. I don't really have much time for it. Too busy for such milks. No, I don't know. I don't really don't know. I don't really like having milk on its own. So I just sort of have it in tea or coffee. Regular, I suppose. Favorite type of bread? I quite like Oh, poppy seed bread's quite good. Definitely a favourite of mine. Attention, Copsy, it is time to stream. Resident sleeper is a conflicting word. Yes. So is it banned? Can you not use it? Can you not can you not use resident sleeper? Excellent. What a channel this is. Flawless. Automod has withheld a message for misogyny. I will I have to say I will allow that in the chat, but that sounds bad. I can't accept that comment now. Because I'll get cancelled. I don't know what my favorite type of that is. I don't really know how to segment them. Sad. Copsy is not entertained by my incredible charisma. Awful. I'm heartbroken. Thanks for answering. I respect your opinion and agree with some parts. I guess I'm just salty because I love playing France and mass produced. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a sort of vehicle that's easy to find contention with, because it's like, you know, a vehicle that's quite renowned and popular, and that's why people are upset about it. But this has happened perpetually throughout the entire game cycle. And it's not just a case of this one vehicle. And I think trying to paint it as, you know, this being the kind of, I guess, core argument, I think in general is a bit disingenuous. Not to say that it's a bad faith argument at all. It's just, I think presenting the issue in this way isn't accurate to what's happening. And I think it's, I can appreciate it, because I mean, it'd be nice to have it in the tree. But there are still lots of other types we can see in the mainline tree. And I think if, you know, it's not like people aren't aware that people want to see more vehicles like that in the tech tree. So maybe down the line we will. I can't say for certain, obviously. It's not my place to do that here. But, you know, there'll be opportunities down the line for sure. Absolutely. It is really great to see you spending some quality time on this holiday. Yes. It is effectively my vacation right now, but I mean, I like talking with people. I don't really talk with people very much, so this is quite nice. And even though, I mean, the War Thunder community is a very unique pocket of the internet, but even so, I enjoy it. So it's nice. I don't mind. I really don't mind. What tea flavor do you recommend? Depends on you. I like Earl Grey. Earl Grey is very nice. Probably my favorite overall, I think. I don't know. It sort of suits me. I don't really know what I mean by that, but I like it. Got this really big strand of white hair as well here. What's that about? I'm aging so quickly, it's a nightmare. I'm unique, question mark? I mean, I guess you are. I don't really know you though, so I can't comment on that. But I think given how most people are very disparate from one another, you probably are. Yes, I would say so. Anyway, I will do a couple of more questions and vacate. I think as I will run out of words, and then I will have no words left for doing all of my other work this evening, which is going to be awful because I can already tell my throat is destroyed, which is very not nice. Overpowered vehicles in War Thunder at US Tech Tree, rank 1 to 3. I don't really know what would expressly be overpowered, but there are some very easy vehicles to play, like the Sherman 105. You've got the Stuart as well, is quite easy to play. T14, good premium. Jumbo as well, once you get the hang of it, can be a really easy tank to play. And yeah, those are probably the most forgiving, I would say. So maybe go for those. I would give it a go. Very fun. What does the BMP-1P upgrade do other than giving you ATGM? It adds smokes as well. I think it used to change the auto-loading mechanism. I think... Oh, I can't remember it, because I know it's changed twice. I think it also removes the autoloader, but that's not a problem because the gun manually reloads faster than the autoloader anyway. It's either that or it's the other way around and the P adds the autoloader, but I think it takes it away. I think it does take it away, actually. So it does do some things, but overall it's a worthwhile upgrade to actually have on the tank. I would say. Indeed. God, my back's going a bit. Not good. Bad, in fact. Type 60 versus ASU 57. Who would win? I don't know. I'm not sure what I would go with. Probably the ASU I would go with. I quite like the ASU. It's very fun. I like vehicles that sort of play uniquely in the game. Those are quite enjoyable for me. I like that. All right, Seahawks, have a good day. Have a good day to you too. Have a lovely day or evening. Whatever you like. Spice it up a bit. AR 196 comeback, maybe at some point. Not really sure on that one. Those are usually quite limited vehicles, so I'm not sure if it'll be likely to see it again, but we'll see. Maybe at some point. Hey Napalm, how are you? I'm okay. I'm about to wrap this up, but it's nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're okay. When's your next stream going to be? I thought about doing my own like personal stream this week, but I don't know. I usually think about doing it and I decide against it like a few hours beforehand, so maybe not. But maybe, I don't know. It depends how much stuff I get done. But yeah, we'll do the regular streams on Thursday and Friday, and then I'll be back to normal on Monday as well. So, and on that note, I should probably leave you to the rest of your day, as I have finished my hijacking of my own stream. So, yeah, I'm usually quite bad at doing the goodbyes because, don't know, I'm not sure. I don't like things ending, I think. So I like to sort of keep things going for as long as possible, and that usually means I'm rubbish at concluding anything. So, yeah, before my voice gets utterly crippled, I will leave you to the rest of your days, mornings, nights, or whatever such you are experiencing currently. And yeah, thank you for being here and having a chat. It's always nice to talk during the week. I enjoy it a lot. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely week. And I will see you on this channel again Thursday with Mike. And maybe I'll stream on my own channel at some point, but it probably won't be announced, so it'll be secret. Although if you can find it, I'll be there. Potentially. Anyway, have a lovely day, and I will see you all very, very soon.